Welcome back here live from Orlando Kart Center. It is the U.S. Pro Kart Series opening weekend here, and we've got a heck of a show in town for you and in store. My name's Xander Clemens. Alongside me in the booth here is Caleb Smock. Our KA100 Juniors, presented by Timmy Tech, are on the racetrack, and they're getting set to go green here as soon as they get ready and we get cleared out. We are going to send it down to our Jenna Tommy, who has caught up with Victor Franzoni, who just had a hero-level drive to get through the last chance qualifier in X30 Pro. Jenna?
I just wanted to go through because in the pre-final I was doing so well and then blow up the engine. And first I just wanted to be careful with the nose, so I wasn't taking like too much risks on the start. And when everything sat down, I was 6. I was super far away. I was like, no, I'm not gonna catch it. Then I gave everything. The last lap was the lap I could made it. And then I was for sure, or I'm doing it, or I'm done for sure, and work it out. So I'm gonna do the final. It's gonna be hard. I hope I can make it, but now I have more laps in the tires, and I didn't have the pace than the leaders, but at least I'm gonna have fun in the final, and at least I made it.
Yeah, it will definitely be fun. Who's been helping you out this weekend?
A lot, PK Sports. We have been together for a long time, and Bring from BN Engines, he's helped me a lot as well with the engines, and the guys from Kart Spot with the Kart Republic. It's been very nice. They made everything way easier for me. It would be way harder if I just came back the way I did and without the support that they're giving to me. So let's see in the final if I can put them in top 10 and celebrate after.
Great, thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jenna. Here we are, green and underway. Caleb ready to go through turn number 3. 40 drivers strong, and KA100 Junior and Elio Meza takes the train into turn number 5. It is a good start for Stephen Miller. He's gone to 2nd. Cooper Shipman is 3rd. Under fire from Max Garcia and company, and the rest of the pack all make it through the first half lap, and it's the Iron Rock Motorsports Tony Kart, number 827, leading the way here on lap number 1.
Yeah, good start from the leaders. Not really as much of a hectic start as I thought it would be down into turn 1, but already a huge lead from Elio Meza, I believe, who is out in front. Now making the way around. That is a good start from them as they're making the way down the field. Also up there is Max Garcia. Garcia also working P number 3. Huge pileup over on the backstretch.
Oh, we are stacking them deep and hard here over in turn number 10. 5-6 drivers collected over in the first corner, or the first tight hairpin on the first lap here, and it is including John Antonino. Looks like at least Henry Wheeler's involved. Austin Olds is involved. 2 more still stuck together, the 978, and I believe, or the 878 and the 834. We'll try and pick up everybody who just got collected there in turn number 1. But a wild first lap here has taken out a number of cars. It's unfortunate, but it's collected a lot of the field.
Shea Aldrich is one of the carts that were involved in the 834. They're going to find themselves all the way towards the back. Yellow's still out. Still can't get everyone cleaned up so far. I think that may be Austin Olds, who has stopped at the inside of that hairpin in turn 10. So unfortunately, he is going to be done. Elio Meza, meanwhile, still out in front over Steve Miller, running in P number 2. P3 is still Max Garcia, and Adam Brickley in the 4th position, not too far behind Max Garcia this time across the line. Fastest card on track so far is Max Garcia in the 3rd spot. He went a 59.02. So he is one of the quicker carts, but right now it's a 2-cart breakaway. Meza and Miller out in front. That is Adam Brickley also right behind Garcia. You can see him in the Trinity Karting Group, Kart Republic, right behind the Willpower Kart of Max Garcia as they make their way down to the sweeper, turn number 7 for the, what is it going to be, the 4th time.
Yeah, here they go, making their way around on lap number 3. And as they come out of turn number 8, we'll pick up the leading group. Elio Meza again trying to get away. He's got company with Stephen Miller. Garcia's through maybe half a second, maybe not. Good run for Brickley again. He's up 5 spots, as you mentioned, right behind Garcia. We go further back. Cooper Shipman has faded down 4 positions so far, and he's faded back to the front bumper of Max Taylor. Caleb Gaffaro rolled off P7 after penalties. He's still there at the end of the train. But a great start for Elio Meza here and Stephen Miller. They lead through turn 4.
Yeah, I'm surprised Caleb Graffera hasn't picked up enough spot more than I thought he would. He's currently in the 6th position. We saw him yesterday. He was out in front with Ilya Meza, putting a smacking down on the rest of the field. Keep an eye on him in the 6th position. I believe we're on live right there with him. The 804, Caleb Graffera, P number 6, right behind Max Taylor, who fell down one position, lost it to Graffera, running in the 7th spot. Look for those two to possibly climb their ways back up. Meanwhile, it's all the Elio Meza and Steve Miller show as they are out in front over the field. Garcia still in 3rd with Brickley running in 4th. That is your top 7.
15 laps to go here. 3 laps complete as they make their way out of turn number 10 over to 11, 12, and 13. Garcia looking like he's got a good lap in the works. Adam Brickley as well, with Gaffera up into 5th now, as you've mentioned here, Caleb. We'll see if they can get lined up. I'd say still about a 7, 8, 10th gap. Not much of a change. They did pick up a 10th and a half off the leaders as of last time by. Does Stephen Miller pull the trigger here on Meza? Looks like he will. New leader attempt. Oh, Meza kind of closed him off.
Yeah, it looked like Miller tried to get underneath Meza. That's going to slow the field down. Look for Garcia and Brickley to close back up. Graffera went purple last lap. He went down to the 58s, a 58.009. So he is really quick right now, up 2 positions. Brickley, like you said before, up 5 spots. So still plenty of time to go. As you said before, 14 laps is a long time. We were doing about 11 to 12 lap features, pre-finals. 18 laps is the feature for these juniors. And there's a beautiful shot of the 2 out in front, Meza and Miller. Garcia in 3rd, and we go side by side. Brickley, and I believe that is also Shipman involved in that group up in front there. And meanwhile, in front of all of them, Caleb Graffera has actually fallen back a couple of spots. He is now going to fall behind Brickley. Sorry, ahead of Shipman, ahead of Brickley, and that's also DeLong involved in that top 7.
Yeah, again, they're all close together. Here's Brickley under more pressure. Parker DeLong inside and clear in turn 5. So he'll move Adam Brickley back. Brickley fires back into 6th, goes back on DeLong, and behind them Luke Welcome lurking here about a cart length away. All these, DeLong putting the bumper a little bit there to Brickley. Not sure if that was intentional or not. That's still back from the leading group here. Max Garcia, last time by, nearly 2 tenths quicker than the race leader, Elio Meza. Gaffera, 4 tenths faster. So while these guys battle here outside the top 5, the top 5 themselves are going to change positions, I think, pretty soon as Brickley loses another spot. This time DeLong and Welcome go by, so 2 spots lost. Shipman up ahead, and then we'll find that group. So let's go back towards the lead. Down towards turn number 1. There's Meza, followed closely by Miller. Here comes Caleb Gaffera, who's gone to 3rd, along with Max Garcia. 4-driver party up at the front of the field forming. And again, Cooper Shipman finding himself a little bit of life now as he tries to get the lap times down. He was half a tenth quicker than his Iron Rock teammate and Elio Meza out front last time by.
Shipman's just got to wait for the party to come to him. It's a 2-2-pack right now. First 2, Meza and Miller, Gaffera and Garcia. Garcia in 4th. Gaffera in 3rd, and you can see, or I shouldn't say you can see, it's obvious that 4-pack right now is starting to form. All that Shipman needs in the 5th spot as we have a pass for the lead. Here goes Miller on the inside of Meza. He's going to take the spot away. Meza's going to fall back. Miller now up into the 1st spot, and you can see Gaffera also joining the party. He is now on the back bumper of Miller. Miller now is going to be on all sorts of pressure because right now, it looks like Matt Garcia is also starting to close back up. Down to the inside to defend goes Miller. He's trying to let Gaffera go by. Gaffera dive bombs it to the inside. Camera's flipping around. Let's see if we can get this shot. There it is. There's now Gaffera up into 2nd. Meza falls back to 3rd. Meza's going to try to take that spot back. He will, but here comes the undercut from Gaffera. Gaffera now side by side. Meza's not done with him. He's going to send it up on the inside. And now Max Garcia is on the back bumper of Meza as they make their way down into turn 7. Not too far behind. Cooper Shipman now sees the light at the end of the tunnel on the back bumper of Max Garcia and Caleb Gaffera. Out of turn 9 and down the backstretch, Garcia has now made up a couple positions, although he is now under pressure. That is from Meza making their way down. It looks like Meza's going to lead one more. If I'm not mistaken, that will be Shipman as well. So now we got a 3-pack battle for the 3rd position. First 2 out in front, you can see them there. Miller and Meza, 1 and 2. Rest of the field following. That is Garcia, Shipman, and if I'm not mistaken, Parker DeLong is now finding himself up in that party as well. So Meza up into third, Shipman running in fourth, Garcia fifth, Parker DeLong rounds out that top six, and that three-cart battle for the sixth position has now added two more, and now Garcia gets into the side hard of Cooper Shipman, almost forces him out wide, sees the opportunity, makes up one more spot. Here comes Meza back up on the inside. Oh, and around goes the 814 of Cooper Shipman.
Shipman out here in the main event, and he knows it. Around in turn number 6, and a big sigh from the crowd, unfortunately, as one of the main contenders who was just getting up there in fourth is now going to fall outside the top 15.
That's going to definitely space that first pack out. There's the group of 3 that are now going to battle it out for the third spot. We're going to have to wait for a time issues update. They're going to actually fell back just a little bit more. This battle for 4 spot. 1 and 2 still Miller and Grafferi. They're about to come into view at the bottom of the screen. Miller out in front, Grafferi running P2. And there is Parker DeLong. He is the biggest winner out of that incident. He is finding himself up a couple more positions. Meza third, DeLong fourth. Luke Welcome also joined the party in fifth. Max Garcia now sixth. Adam Brickley up 2 spots into seventh. We got a 4-cart battle for the third spot. 1 and 2 still Miller and Garfera making the way out of 4, heading into 5. That's where the incident happened last lap. Not a whole lot of incidents going to happen this time. Meza now is going to have to hold off all the cars from behind. Parker DeLong, Luke Welcome, Max Garcia, all trying to get involved. Garcia made up a couple of positions, though, as they make their way out of the chicane down towards turn 9, side by side with the leaders in the back parts of the screen. That was Miller and Graffera making their way down into the turn 10 hairpin. Let's see if we can see them in view. Making the way out of turn 10. There it is. Graffera now out in front over Miller. Miller goes into second. Third placement of Elio Meza. Sorry, that was Miller and Graffera. Meza running in third, 1 and 2. Graffera, Miller just now coming across the line. You can see him at the top of your screen. Meza coming across in third. Camera's going to swing around and catch the 2 leaders coming out. Nose to tail is the 2 of Miller and Graffera. Meza running in third at the top of your screen. Making the way down into turn 4. There in the background, you can see Meza looming. He's waiting for the top 2 to start battling back and forth so we can try to make up more positions. Meanwhile, Max Garcia is trying to hold off Luke Welcome and Adam Brickley.
Yeah, Garcia's faded here. He was going good, and now he's all the way behind Parker DeLong, who has gotten way clear of him. Look at this mad pack here, way deep in the field. Oh,
Kart's up in the air.
And that's going to take out one of the Lando Norris, Mike Doty karts. I think that was George Fagali. Might have had Santiago Duran on top of him back from 15th. Meanwhile, heading down the backstretch, I think that was Meza. It might have been Meza we were on, trying to pick up all the action as they come out of turn number 10.
There's the leaders making their way down into turn number 1 as we're going to go back through the field. If I'm not mistaken, that's the battle for the 4th or 5th spot, maybe that's 6th or 7th. Shipman
here, he's down in 12th. So leaders headed to turn 5. Caleb Gaffera and Stephen Miller. There's Meza, there's DeLong. Garcia back in 5th. Welcome, and then Brickley. And Cooper Shipman, we were watching him come to the final corner. That was one driver trying to dig back up there. But Stephen Miller, super quick here, and he's happy to work with yesterday's driver who first crossed the line in first, Caleb Gaffera. He leads them here with seven laps to go.
Gaffera up on the wheel, trying to get as much of a tow as he can or as much aerodynamic support as he can. On the back bumper, Stephen Miller. These two have opened up nearly a 2-second advantage of the third placement of Elio Meza. Meza's got a comfortable about 3.5-second gap between himself and Parker DeLong, who is leading a train of karts. It's DeLong, Garcia, Welcome, Brickley, and Taylor. They are all battling it out for the 4th position. Third placement right now of Meza, island of his own. Doesn't really have any competition from behind, but he is trying to catch back up to the 2 leaders of Gaffera and Miller. And they go through turn 3, now coming down to turn 4. Meza at the left side of your screen, not too far behind. It looks like Parker DeLong slowly starting to pull away from that pack from behind. He may be catching up to DeLong here shortly, as Garcia now is going to have to hold off both Welcome and Brickley. That is the battle for the 5th position.
So yeah, DeLong getting away from Garcia. Last time by was about even to the leaders. Even Garcia was pretty even. I mean, they're all right within about a 1/4 of a second. The entire top 6 were identical. And it just goes to show again how level this class ends up being lap time wise with the lower horsepower. The driver can't just go and make it up on their own, but they can lose it a lot by battling. So when they fight as hard as they do, it just makes it darn near impossible to try and come back from a gap like that. We've seen drivers come from deep in the pack in the X30 Senior class. We've seen them do it in some of the other divisions. It's super tough to do here in a class like this in KA100 Junior, just because they're all so level. there's not much more they can do to try and outdrive each other, and they're all at the limit at the moment. So as they come through turn number 5 to go, it's a waiting game. We're waiting to see when Stephen Miller and Caleb Gaffera, your leaders, begin to battle. And that'll be the only opportunity for Elio Meza, Parker DeLong, and then, of course, Max Garcia to get back into the fight, because last time by, same thing, all of the top 6 within 1/10 of a second lap time-wise.
Two leaders now making their way down into turn 10 is what we're in view of right now. Gaffera and Miller hard down into turn 10. Miller not going to try to make a move just yet, but he is on the back bumper of Gaffera. Gaffera is going to have to go on the defensive here shortly. We're going to have 4 laps to go at the line. It is going to be a matter of when Miller is going to make his move, as Xander was talking about before. Meza and DeLong sitting right there waiting for the opportunity for these leaders to slow themselves down, maybe by half a second in total, and they'll be within striking distance to join the party of the 2 out in front. But right now, it looks like Miller and Gaffera on an island of their own right now, running pretty fast lap times. As Xander said before, it's very consistent with the rest of the field, so they just got to maintain, because as soon as they do start battling, the rest of the field will slowly start to close up. We're working lap number 4. Lap number 3 is going to be up, and they come by the start-finish line. They're making the way by us right now, down towards the paddock area in that big old bend, making the way through the chicane, through the turn 9. Up on the wheel, both is Gaffera and Miller. Miller, not as close as he was last time, not close by any means to make a move. Out of turn 10 to make the way down the backstretch. He's kind of within striking distance.
Yeah, but I mean, he could go at about any time right now. I think he's waiting to pull the trigger. Elio Meza is catching a little bit. He caught a 10th last time. I think might get another 10th this time because they were disconnected. But he could dive bomb from there, especially with that tight hairpin turn number 10. You can absolutely throw it down the inside. They'll head out of turns 2 and 3 here over to 4. I don't think we'll see him pull it yet, but here's a good group then. Garcia and Welcome, they're going to stay single file as well, trying to hunt down Parker DeLong. They were even to him last time. Everyone just waiting for that 2 to go signal. Then we'll start to see it become go time, where they battle for the lead and position.
It's all a game of chess right now. Moves and counter moves. You got to wait for the first move so you can counter with your own. Still in view right now is Garcia and Luke Welcome. Welcome right now is behind Garcia as they make their way down into turn 10. Looks like no one's going to pop out. They're going to stay in single file. 2 leaders went by at the bottom of your screen. Still staying in view with the 2. We're going to pan over to the leaders possibly coming down. They'll see them at the bottom of the chicane. There is fourth placement of Parker DeLong. Elio Meza out in front. You can see him at the top of the screen there. He is running in P3. So now we are 2 laps to go as we switch over. We'll see the 2 leaders coming around now. There it is, Gaffera and Miller, 1 and 2, down into turn 4. No move made by Miller. Miller is waiting for his perfect opportunity to make something happen as they make their way around turn number 5, heading into turn 6.
Caleb Gaffera's made every driver in front of him look pretty silly here this weekend when he's been in second on the final lap. He's been able to defend pretty nicely so far out in front, and he hasn't had to defend yet in this specific main event. So when he goes on the defense, we'll see what Stephen Miller can pull off. Miller got a couple big wins in Miami this year, but it was under slick conditions. It was not under a standard head-to-head battle that we're so used to seeing in the drive. But here we are, a typical 100cc, typical kart race in general, where it's going to come down to a number of drivers at the end. Elio Meza has found the afterburners. He was 4/10 quicker than them last time, another 3/10 off this time. He'll get there when they block. He might have a shot, an outside shot at him if they go at it early in this last lap. Gaffera looks back, measures the gap, blocks the inside into 5. And here we go, Caleb, over to turn number 6.
This is just what Elio Meza needs. There's Gaffera out in front, blocking the inside line. Miller is trying to find the perfect opportunity to get around, and you can see now slowly starting to close up. Elio Meza, he was the fastest car on track last lap. All sorts of sideways. We've got both drivers going into turn 7 through the chicane. Look for this passing point right here in turn 9. I think Elio Meza knows what's about to happen.
Great
he is
crossover.
Closing up, and now down to the inside goes Stephen Miller.
Great crossover as Gaffera decided to block. Now Meza's going to stuff it on the inside of Gaffera. Thank you very much. He'll take second. Miller watching the gap. Can Elio Meza get there? Miller over the curbs. Meza can't get to the bottom. It'll have to be a late crossover. Nothing going to happen. Stephen Miller is going to win again here in 2022.
Stephen Miller coming across the line in first. Grafera popped out, trying to get second place back and save whatever he could. Comes across in third. Ilya Meza comes across in second. Oh, we got a couple of carts tangled up over there. Parking along, rounds out the top four. In the fifth position goes to Max Garcia. Luke Welcome comes across second. Cooper Shipman, eighth. Adam Brickley finishes in ninth. Max Taylor, 10th. And Diego Guido finishes in the 10th position.
Yeah, Diego Guido rounds out the top 10. Few comers and goers in that one. Emma Kate Scarborough picked up 7 spots. Walter Jenkins up 19 positions at the drop of the checkered flag. Reagan Seville up 18. Ava Dobson up 15 from deep in the field. Both Walter Jenkins and I believe maybe Reagan Seville as well coming. Yeah, Reagan Seville coming from the LCQ. So they're coming from way back in the field. Unfortunate for a number of drivers that were collected. Only 31 or 32 ended up finishing out of all of them. And I think it came down to 30 with Ryan Miller and Lavisa Landon. Jumped in turn 5 on the final lap, but Stephen Miller gets a good crossover on Gafera, gets him down there, and I don't think Gafera knew that Meza was as close as he was. He got there, was able to get down on the inside and pull off the pass. A great move, and then I think Meza just kind of got tripped up because he was looking to maybe be able to dive bomb Miller into the final turn. Just couldn't make it happen, wasn't close enough. And respect to Elio Meza for not throwing the race away or knocking Stephen Miller out of the way. A lot of respect there between the top 3. We're going to use that as a good segue to take a commercial break here. We will be coming back with main event number 2 of 7 here this afternoon. Your micro Swifts are on deck. The 7 to 10-year-olds who always put on a great show are lined up next here to come. Green, 1 down, 6 more to come. Live from Orlando, it's round 1 of the U.S. Pro Kart Series.
I'm Billy Vincent, owner of MPG Motorsports. What we do at MPG is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere, try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun, sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, you know, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com, and one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
Maryland USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParolinUSA.com. As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and most of all, win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked national-level team to back it up, we'll help to get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching to the parts you need to get you back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer. Are you looking to up your web presence and digital footprint? Here at Novice Web, we help businesses elevate their value through custom software development, responsive website design, e-commerce, and AL/ML services. Our customer-focused engineers have over 10 years of experience. Let Novice Web design your first online impression. Overdrive Motorsports is more than just another full-service kart shop. Beyond our excellent service and more than 20 years of experience, we also offer a number of aftermarket parts and upgrades, such as our own proprietary pedal kit and the only aftermarket rock shifter mount in North America. Check us out online at odkarts.com.
Welcome back here live from Orlando Kart Center. We are getting set to bring you main event number 2 here on the afternoon. Team Ferris Racing, Micro Swift here. Caleb, these kids, I mean, they put on a show every single time they get on the racetrack. They were 7 and 8 deep in the main event yesterday, all battling it out. Marcus Samut, yesterday's winner, rolls off 9th. It's so unpredictable. Again, it's no different than college football. It's really pee-wee football, but, I mean, they are racing at a very professional, very high level, and it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, something else that's fun with these kids, too, like you were talking about. You said that it was like pee-wee college football. Some of these kids aren't afraid to take major risks, and it's in at 4, maybe 5 wide when it comes out of the hairpin at turn 10. Always entertaining to put on a good show. A lot of times people think, oh, they're kiddos, they can't have a good race. But they run at such a professional level. I mean, we talked to 2 of the kids up here in the booth beforehand, and they think at a level that I probably can't comprehend. Their IQ is a lot higher than mine, I'm not going to lie.
The kids definitely are on it, and they're in the go. I mean, they take it to the top. These are really the best kids in the country in their age group, 7 to 10 years old. Rocco Simone and Troy Ferguson will line up on row number 1. Julian Rivera, Drew Waltz, row number 2. Let's take you through the rest of the starting lineup here. Ashton Woon will start to the inside of row 3 alongside Jackson Gibson. Travis Pettit will make up the inside of row number 4 alongside Declan Dionaran. Row 5, yesterday's winner, Marco Samut. And the number 75 Lando Norris kart starts to the inside of Nicholas Orbezo. Our pole sitter today and leader up until the last few laps of his pre-final, Benja Fernandez, rolls off to the inside of row 6 alongside William Kim. Row 7, Jacob Majeski and Luke Giglio. Row 8, Kai Mars and Royce Vega. Row number 9 will see Cameron Marsha and Sammy Martinez. And row 10, starting 19th and 20th, Mateus Romalo and Aston Wyatt. 40 drivers strong here for Micro Swift, exactly on the cap. Rocco Simone, the Canadian. Troy Ferguson, the West Coast kid here from Seal Beach, California, make up the front row. They're lined, they're ready. We're looking good, we are good, we're green, down to turn number 1.
Already they're not afraid to send it 4 or 5 wide towards the back of the pack, and it looks like Rocco Simone is now going to come out on top. Troy Ferguson also up in the mix, but right now Rocco Simone has got a good gap going. Oh, down to the inside of pass for second. I believe that was maybe Waltz got involved. Oh, handful of karts involved in an incident. 1, 2, 3, 4 karts. Let's see, we got kart number 21 up in the mix. Kart number 55. See if we can get you guys some names going
One
down
of them
here.
going to be Andrew Sapenko in the 55. We'll try and find more here. He rolled off 25th.
Ashton Wyatt rolled off in the 20th spot, also involved.
Either way here, they're clean and green up front. Good run for the leader. Out front, great start for Rocco Simone. Julian Rivera in second, side by side for third, as it is a graveyard over on the outside edge at turn number 3, and we'll see that here in just a moment. Your leaders are headed into the infield chicane for lap 1. Rocco Simone, Julian Rivera. I believe Ashton Woon is up to third. We'll give you the updated lineup and keep it updated on the side of the screen. As we do that, we're going to go side by side and send it down to an ecstatic main event winner in KA100 Junior, Mr. Stephen Miller. He's caught up with Jenna.
Stephen Miller, congratulations on your win. Can you tell us about that race? It was a crazy last lap battle.
Yes, I had to save my tires and carry my momentum for the last lap to get the pass.
That's awesome. Who helped you out here this weekend?
My mechanic especially, and my parents for helping me out, making me believe that I can get first.
Mindset is everything, especially in karting. How does it feel to win here today?
It feels great, and it's a USPKS race, so I'm congratulating myself.
Yeah. Awesome. Good for you. Great national win. Thank you so much, Stephen.
All right, there, that is an awesome run here by Stephen Miller, and now we've got an awesome run in the works for Rocco Simone and especially Julian Rivera, who has cut off about a tenth or two of the lead off the 95 last time by. Let's see where the updated gap finds ourselves here, Caleb. Across the line, 2 laps complete. Actually about the same, 0.8 of a second. Looked like he might have got a little bit closer by the end, but it's held even. Woon and Ferguson about a second back there in third and fourth. Here they go, turn 5. They're going to stay single file, might be able to work together, and you talk about working together, it will make a big difference here in the microslip class. We see we've got so many karts, unfortunately, taken out there in turn number 4.
Yeah, Ashton Woon and Troy Ferguson are a very difficult situation right now. If they decide to battle back and forth, they're going to lose sight of Julian Rivera and Rocco Simone, who is currently out in front. Those two are got a good gap for themselves between the rest of the field. So if Woon and Ferguson stay where they are, let the race come to them, they will see those two slowly start to reel in. Last lap, Rocco Simone went purple. He won a 102.6. Most of the field within about 2/10 of that benchmark time so far. Looking down through the field, there's a good battle in the mid-pack. There went Ashton Woon and Ferguson. That means that is Drew Waltz, who is leading that second pack, and I believe that was Travis Petit able to get around Jackson Gibson.
Gibson able to get by both of them, actually. Sorry, that was Gibson going by Waltz, and Travis Pettit able to get by on Waltz as well, but Waltz was fighting back when we just cut away there through turns 1 and 2. They're still side by side back there. And oh man, we've got one driver turned here in the infield. That is the 63. Back near the mid-pack, Massimo LaRusso goes around. But up front here, we were watching a great battle there for 5th and 6th. Gibson, Drew Waltz fighting back on Travis Pettit. Also in that group is Declan Deonorine. So now they run with Gibson leading the train, Waltz in second, Deonorine in the 3rd spot, and then Travis Pettit in 4th. Or in 4th in line, 8th overall. Yeah, big mix-up in that mid-pack, and you're about to see it's going to play into the factor of the two out in front. Rocco Simone, Julio Rivera running 1 and 2, and here comes the two from behind, Ashton Woon and Troy Ferguson. Now starting to close back up to the two out in front. The gap is visually closing on the screen. We can give you an exact time when they come across the board. We're about to see a 4-kart party for the lead as they make their way across the start-finish line. Gibson and Waltz still leading that second main pack as they come across the line too. Ashton Woon went fastest lap a 102.8. Fastest lap for your leader of Rocco Simone was a 102.2. So major differences in the pack. Roughly about 0.6 of a lap faster was Ashton Woon, a third-year leader. Yeah, Ashton Woon that time, like you said, 3 to 4/10 quicker than the race leader. He's going to close that gap even more so this time. Julian Rivera closing in, and we'll quickly have a 4-driver grouping up front. Behind them, it's a pretty massive gap to Jackson Gibson, who's running lap times that are a little further back off the pace of the top guys. He's about 3 seconds back, nearly 3.5 back from the rear bumper of Troy Ferguson as we've got a challenge, new leader, and it is the number 4. Julian Rivera takes over the 3rd spot. And Ashton Woon and Troy Ferguson come a little more into frame as we go to put 5 laps in the books. 11 laps to go here coming out of the final corner. Ashton Woon, you can visually see the gap between themselves and Rivera, Simone now, since Rivera's out in front, is closing. Ferguson close on the back bumper of Woon. 4-kart battle for the lead, probably within the next half to lap, 2 lap as they make their way down into turn 4. Down on the inside goes Simone, takes the point right back. There goes that gap. It is gone. Defending on the inside now is Simone. As you can see, all the karts that got involved in that carnage before as leaders make their way into turn number 7. Simone on point, Rivera in P2, rest of the field right there. Yeah, close group headed through turn 7, 8, and 9. They'll come out of 9 down the back straightaway. Rivera now back to second. Does he challenge again to turn number 10? He'll get to the bumper, push him, not going to pull out a line through turn number 10. And Rocco Simone still leads headed into the infield chicane. We'll see 5 laps, they make it 6 complete on the books this time. 10 to go as they go through the final corner. 4 drivers all together. Making their way out of the final corner, down towards the start-finish straight. Rivera is going to have his hands full as he is now working the back bumper of Simone into turn 1. Here comes Ashton Woon and Ferguson also as well joining the party, running in 3rd and 4th. Yeah, we took a look back there for a moment to see that gap there on the front stretch, the big gap back to the battle for P5. Drew Waltz's group with Nick Orbezo up now into the mix. There they come into frame. Look at that. Nicholas Orbezo on the Iron Rock Tony kart and an entire line of karts from 4th. That goes way down, all the way down, I think, to about 23rd with Alex Chandler and the number 26 Iron Rock Motorsports Tony Kart from Houston, Texas. 10 to go. Your leaders still out front by about 5 to 6 second gap. Looking back from them, it is this group. Drew Waltz, 5th on back to 23rd in a single file train. Crazy how much these guys pack up together and how big some of these packs will get, Caleb.
Yeah, they were definitely stacked field back there. The camera panned over. The leader's now going down the main straight. Ashton Woon going to work right now. Ferguson in the back bumper. Looked like he was kind of starting to fall away from the lead pack. As you can see, the 4 drivers out on the barrier. Unfortunate to see, but we're going to look at the drivers coming into turn 4 now. There's your leader, Simone, Rivera, Woon, Ferguson, top 4, nose to tail. They've kind of calmed down and not ran as hard as I thought they would, although with 9 laps to go, still plenty of time. No one really wants to cause the party to break up until you get down to the final 2 laps.
Here they come through the carousel. They'll go through 7, 8, and into 9. And yeah, like you said, at this point, this is where a lot of drivers will just begin to ride. We're right at the halfway mark. Very similar to what you'll see at Daytona, just about an hour and a half down the road, as Rivera, little look to the inside, pulls back in. Just pack racing, and with the race as long as it is, once they get to the pack, they'll kind of sit there for a little bit. When the race heats up in the final few stages, they'll decide to go. Right now, Rivera wants to go a little bit early. He'll go by, but I don't think any of them have the pace, even if 2 of them got together, to drop the other 2. They're going to be racing the 4 of each other, it looks like, all the way to the end. And there's the halfway signal given. They knew that, and now Simone takes the lead back. Rivera, a little contact, and Ashton Wound drops a tire in turn 4. So that was unexpected, and that as well, similar to the big one in NASCAR, out of nowhere sometimes those packs can explode. That's the only way you end up normally splitting them up and having drivers fall off.
Ashton Wound did fall off the field, but I don't think that it's going to cost them that much dearly, as the top 3 may start battling it back out here soon. It kind of heated up the last 2 laps. If they settle back down, Wound's going to have to go to work, but right now, I don't think they're in a horrible situation.
Well, Ashton Wound, unfortunately, we've talked with a lot of drivers about how many marbles are on this racetrack. Those are pieces of rubber that fall off the tires, and they'll naturally get swept just off the racing line. But you can even see here all the dark spots and then all those small little black spots of rubber around the outside of the corners. When you get out into the marbles, as what they're called here, you can even see some here on the front straightaway. You get those on your tires, you're going to need dirt on your tire. Drivers are saying it takes them a lap, sometimes 2 laps, to clean the tires back off and be able to have full levels of grip again. So in the case of Ashton Wound, he's loving this right here. Julian Rivera passing Rocco Simone, because he lost nearly 2 seconds in that exchange. Rivera blocks there into 6, holds the lead out, heads out at 6 and into 7. And with Ferguson, Simone battling, this is exactly what Ashton Wound needs, and he also needs to be absolutely perfect to try and get back up to it. Otherwise, the top 3 may break further away. 6.5 to go.
Best evidence of the marbles you were talking about was that first chicane going into turn 9. It was packed up on both sides of the track, especially where there's blue paint. Now down on the inside, I believe that was Simone going to the fin. And here comes Ferguson. Tried to roll the outside line. Both Rivera and Simone are going back and forth. Simone is in that paralleling cart in P2. Riviera currently out in front, going to go to the inside of the fin. That was a quick defense all the way down that main straightaway. Troy Ferguson finds himself trying to get around the outside of Simone as they make their way out of turn 2.
Yeah, Simone not able to find a way by there. Ferguson not able to find a way by either. They're all still single file. Julian Rivera a little bit more narrow into 5, but not defending too much just yet, but it'll be crunch time soon. That's defending right there into 6. Low lining there going in. They're still not losing a ton of time to Ashton Wound. Last time by, he gained about a 10th, so they can continue to do that for quite some time here before they have to worry about more drivers joining in.
I think you're 100% correct on that one. Not really close enough to make any move by any means, especially if the race starts heating up right now. 6 laps to go currently, 5 laps to go next time by. We're losing a little bit of time there if you're Ashton Wound. Top 3, still nose to tail. They're still all going on the defensive right now. I'm surprised Ferguson isn't trying to possibly pop out and make a pass at some point, because they're battling almost like there's 2 laps to go.
Well, it's just Rivera that's continuing to defend. He's backing him up here. That's giving Wound some more life. Look at him all the way down on the inside, down the front straightaway. He's got to be careful how much he moves back up the racetrack when they get down to the corner, because if he starts to do that, they'll give him one rolled up black flag to warn him, and say, hey, listen, if you want to defend your position, you can. You've got to stay on the low side. You can't open back up for the corner. That's really what the rule is all about. You want to block off the bottom? Great. No one's going to pass you, but you're going to have a very narrow entry and a bad turn. If you want to open up for the corner and have a good turn, you can't cover off the inside down the whole straightaway. And him doing that has already brought Ashton Woon back into things. Here he is, the Nitro Kart, looking for second and now looking to go through to the lead. It is Rocco Simone, then Woon, and then Ferguson. Ferguson left the door open, so did Rivera. Now Ferguson back on Woon, turn 10. He's by. Rocco Simone, your leader, and they're all in shambles behind him.
And Ashton Woon trying to see if they can't get by Rivera as they make their way to the final corner. Here comes Rivera on the inside of Woon. Woon back to fourth. Woon's going to try a double crossover. He's going to thread the needle right back over and get right in front of Rivera as they come across the line.
So nice crossover. Ashton Woon back to third. Rivera back to fourth. And finally some separation up front. Troy Ferguson, 4 to 5 cars back from Rocco Simone. Can he hunt him down? He's still in the drafting window. Should be in a good spot as they head for 6.
All four, a little bit of equal spacing. We saw them nose to tail previous lap. Now they're starting to gap themselves back out. Ferguson right now is going to have to crank it up into overdrive and catch back up to Simone if they want any chance of trying to recover what they had. In doing so, may bunch the field up as we're approaching 3 laps to go this next time by.
We have 3 to go this time around. So Simone's gap to Ferguson, you can see on screen there, about 3 or 4 car lengths. Ashton Woon starting to pull away now from Julian Rivera. A little mistake from the number 4. He's still there in the tow, though, and once they battle again up front, he'll be able to get there. Rocco Simone looking good. Look at this. The next pack, Drew Waltz, along with the 58 of Nicholas Orbezo, and Jackson Gibson are on the way. They're only now about 3 seconds back from the leaders. It could get closer if they fight some more, but they've got to fight for that to happen. 3 to go. It's still a half-second gap here for Rocco Simone.
Not a whole lot of battling happening in that front pack of 4 as they're spaced out, making their way down turn number 4. There's a good visual of the gap between the 4 out in front and the 3 running behind them. Like you said before, Walls, Orbez, and Gibson in the 3-pack, all trying to chase down the top 4. The top 4 aren't really going back and forth as we saw previously before, so I don't think it's going to be a huge factor.
They were still about 3/10 quicker as of last time by than Rocco Simone on his own, so they're coming. They just need a little bit of help here. Simone, that time by, out of turn 10. That gap looks to be a little bit smaller. Ashton Woon trying to get back up there here. Just a little hard racing incident, got the dirt on the tires, knocked him back for a few laps. He's coming. 3 different manufacturers represented inside the top 3. 3 different manufacturers represented actually inside the top 5. 5 different cars. You've got a Prairlin out in front, a Bennick in second, a Nitro Kart in third, a Kart Republic in fourth, and a Beryl Art in fifth. 5 different operations, and they're all about to get after it here. There's Rivera coming through, Drew Waltz, then the OTK of Nicholas Orbezo. He makes it, I believe, 6 different chassis manufacturers inside the front group, and here comes Troy Ferguson, the California kid, trying to go to town on Rocco Simone. Based out of Venice, Florida now as they come out of turn number 9. It's going to be close. A lap and a half to go. Simone, maybe a kart length if that to turn 10.
Here comes Ashton Woon in third. Sees the opportunity about to present itself as the 2 in front of Ferguson and Simone are about to battle back and forth into the chicane. No pass is going to be attempted by Ferguson on entry. Now here we go. You can see the 2 different driving styles. One defend on the inside, one decide to take the outside line. Here comes Simone down across the line. White flag is out. 1 more lap down into turn 1. Still equal, I don't want to say equal spacing, but Ferguson's definitely closing.
It's very close here. Troy Ferguson's close enough. He's going to force Simone to defend. No, he's going to open up. Troy Ferguson to the lead in turn 5. Simone now goes on the offense here. He finds the hole into 6, forces it down the inside. Here comes Ashton Woon up to second, and the crowd is going crazy here on the top pagoda as they work their way around turn number 7 into 8 and 9. It is Rocco Simone trying to hang on over Ashton Woon. Woon with a big dive bomb. He gets crossed over. Simone back to the lead. Woon finds his way down to the bottom. He's going to poke a nose even lower. Turn 10. Ashton Woon looking for the lead. Simone chops the nose.
And Ashton Woon had a little bit of company from behind.
Oh,
all
man.
sorts of help.
Simone.
Here comes Ferguson.
Ferguson won't be there. He might have a shot. Rivera goes to third. Woon is too far back. He choked the end of the exit. It's Rocco Simone and a big cheering section. Rocco Simone wins on Sunday.
Good run there for the top four. Ashton Woon able to bring it home in second. Troy Ferguson third. Juliana Rivera comes back in fourth. And Drew Walls, who actually went the fastest lap that last lap of 1:01.843, comes across in P5.
What a performance by Rocco Simone in the 95. Registered here from Venice, Florida, the number 95. Parolin wins out against an OTK, a Benek, a Kart Republic, a Nitro Kart, and a BRLR, and it's all Rocco Simone here at the end of the day. A great battle. Ashton Woon tried to get there in turn number 10. Again, the exit just kind of got pinched off. It hurt the momentum. Ferguson gave him a push, and from there, nothing he could do. Team Ferris Racing Micro Swift, again, a fantastic finish, as expected, as we always get from the class. And Nico Urbezo, again, up 4 spots. Benja Fernandez, he drove forward, just got there a little bit too late here. A slow start for the number 18 Trinity Karting Group driver. Qualified on the pole here for today. Rolled off 11th, fell back as low as 13th, ends up back in 7th, up 4 spots. Jackson Gibson at the end fades down to 8th here. Close finish for Gibson and Fernandez across the line. Then William Kim in 9th. Declan Deonarine rounds the top 10. Maxwell Macha, shout out, up 10 positions into 14th. Parker Ives up 7, finishes 16th. AJ Stoner from the back of the grid. 14 spots gained after a DNF in the pre-final to finish in 21st. And Massimo LaRusso up 11 positions at the end there to finish 28th. We're going to go to commercial break here. When we come back, we'll probably be hearing from our winner, Rocco Simone. He's had one heck of a few weeks here after winning in the Florida Winter Tour and now winning again here at the U.S. Pro Kart Series opener in Orlando. Next up, KA100 Senior. It is normally one of the most exciting and intense battles we get to see all day long. The 100cc headline division comes out on track next.
I'm David Serra, 18-time Australian karting champion, and we're launching Kart Class. Kart Class is an advanced digital training program that suits a driver who's just starting out in the sport, all the way to the driver looking to win a national championship. In this program, you're going to be learning about how to find the ideal racing line and what an apex is, braking and throttle markers, wet weather racing lines, and how to overtake other competitors. We target how to brake in the wet weather, and we look on the mental side of kart racing as well with our mental skills coach. At the completion of this program, you'll be lighting up purple sectors in qualifying, know when to defend on the opening laps, and how to pressure your opposition into mistakes. We teach you the tools to be resilient and how to get in the right frame of mind before a race. We look to complete the whole package by getting a strong mindset, a driving style to suit all conditions, strategizing your race, and getting the last 1% from your team. We'll teach you how to win the final lap of a race, driving the wet like Max Verstappen, and creating the perfect bubble for yourself to mentally be in the zone. To find out more, click the link below.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex Rock engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. If you're looking for top-grade equipment, look no further than Rev Performance Materials engine mounts, sprockets, and arcade chains. Available online now at revperformancematerials.com and through a dealer near you. The highest quality material, built to the highest quality standards. Rev Performance Materials. Parolin USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality. Offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida. And the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at parolinusa.com.
welcome back here live from Orlando Kart Center. Kart Chasers coverage of the opening weekend of the U.S. Pro Kart Series here, getting set to go green with KA100 Senior, presented by Mike Doty Racing. We'll get you the starting lineup here in just a moment as they get set to get the engines fired. I can hear them fired down below us, so we will take you through our starting lineup here after one heck of an LCQ for the KA100 Seniors. First of all, we've got our pole sitter here, Brandon Lemke. He gets a start again on the inside of row number 1. To his outside, of course, the pre-final even winner in the Mike Doty Racing KA100 Senior class, Chase Hand. From there, we go back and forth all the way down the order. Alex Stanfield and Nick Terlecki will make up row number 2. Jake French and John Burke, row 3. Aiden Rudolph and Jeremy Fletcher, row 4. Finnegan Bailiff, James Bird, row 5. Grace Liberante, Connor Ferris, row 6. Josh Holtz, Gia Cicero, row 7. Then it's Aiden Levy and Matthew Mockabee, starting 15th and 16th. PJ Lida, Adam Maxwell, 17th and 18th. Colin Hayes, Nikita Paneris round your top 20. Then it's Keegan Bosch and Brooke Berry, starting outside the top 20 in row number 11. Then we've got row number 6, then row number 7. Sorry, row number 11 there for them. Then we go back, Logan Mueller, Ian Quinn, Aaron Benoit starts pretty deep in this field. Josh Campbell to his outside, Aiden Hatcher and Abby Adams will make it through. Beckett Andrew and Drew James, and then we got Jake Walker, Alex Doncho, Andrew Wilson, Brooke Knockman, Nikolai Dukov, Cameron Steller, and I believe if we go all the way down, we've got Joey Botting, Alex Feldstein, and more. But we'll confirm again who transferred and all. The timing a little bit off as we get set, and we've got problems for one Burrell, our driver, Aiden Rudolph, who was going to start in on the first few rows, has a mechanical failure here, and you can see the disappointment in his eyes and through the helmet. Unfortunate for that kid, who will have to watch the entire main event for Sunday here from the sidelines. We're going to get set to go green. Brandon Lemke and Chase Hand, a veteran and a rookie, getting set to go. We'll go a lap in and then talk to our Micro Swift main event winner. First up, let's get ready to go green here. Into the tram lines. Looking good. KA100 Senior underway down to turn number 1.
Green flag is out, and they're rolling into turn 1, like was said just before. Oh, a couple of carts get turned around on the exit of turn 2.
Oh, John Burke's involved, and Nick Terlecki as well. Brooke Knockman, Jake French is involved. So that's quite a few big names there junked in turn number 2. Meanwhile, up front, Brandon Lemke leads. Alex Stanfield, Chase Hand, Liberante into 4th ahead of Finnegan Bailiff.
That is, like we said before, Lemke already got on the front row, and he is now leading the way going down the backstretch into turn 10. Everyone else, besides the incident in turn 2, I think it's a fairly clean run. Oh, that is bad news. I think that's Jake French making his way into the pit lane. The Burrell arc coming off early. Very unfortunate to see. Lemke out in front, making their way through the final corner, heading down towards the start-finish line for the first time. 17 laps will remain after this, and already there's a 4-cart battle for the lead. Lemke, Stanfield, Hand, Liberante cracks into the top 5, with Finnegan Bailiff rounding it out in the 5th position, and also Josh Holtz joined the party with Jeremy Fletcher up into P7.
New leader, Alex Stanfield, takes over the top spot in turn number 5 here, and they're going to battle quite a bit here to start this main event. Stanfield brings Hand with him.
Lemke contact with Liberante.
Whoa, right there. Brandon Lemke, Race Liberante. I got a feeling that had some sauce behind it right there. That looked hard.
That did not look like it was pleasant. I kind of felt that one from the chair up here. Hopefully everyone's okay from that incident. It looks like Liberante is fine because he is still rolling with Lemke out in front. Stanfield now, they got a little bit of a gap for themselves.
Well, Lemke not out in front anymore.
Liberante.
Pounding the side pot of Brandon Lemke there in turn number 6. Liberante kind of got bullied by a lot of the KA Senior field yesterday. First John Burke, Aiden Rudolph as well, and we've got guys off the racetrack here. One spun coming in, I think that's PJ Lida's gone around. One of the Trinity karting group drivers, Logan Mueller, was involved. He drops to the tail, and Ian Quinn involved as well. Meanwhile, let's go back to the lead. Alex Stanfield, Chase Hand, pass for 3rd. Liberante gets by on Finnegan Bailiff. And closing up to all of them is Jeremy Fletcher in the 5th spot. We're going to go side by side here as we try to send it down to the grid. Rocco Simone has caught up, I believe, with Jenna Tommy. And we'll see if we can send it on down. He had a great finish. Let's see if we can get a hold of Jenna Tommy and Rocco Simone. I know they're ready to go. We'll bring it on down. Jenna, take it away.
You're with Rocco Simone, who is our winner. Rocco, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah, how was that race for you? Can you describe it to us?
Well, at the 8th lap, Rivera passed me and then started to block. So I knew I had to pass and not block.
Is that exactly what you did?
Yes.
All right, who do you want to thank?
I would like to thank Yana, BN Engines, my mom, my dad, Pearland Racing Team.
Thank you so much. Great job, Rocco. That was an awesome race.
A very happy Rocco Simone. Thank you, Jenna, here. And let's go back to the battle for P3 because that is continuing to shuffle. Jeremy Fletcher now looking to the inside, I believe, over back in turn number 9. We'll pick him up when they come down the straightaway. There's Stanfield in hand. Where is the updated order? Fletcher did go by on Liberante. He looked close. He got him. So Finnegan Bailiff in third. Jeremy Fletcher fourth. Race Liberante fifth. Let's see how they all kind of get lined up here through the infield chicane. Back behind them, Connor Ferris, Josh Holtz. That's a big train of cars. Sixth on back here includes the likes of Matthew Mockabee and James Bird. Adam Maxwell's in that group inside the top 10. And at the end of the train, I believe, should be Gia Cicero before a big gap to Aaron Benoit, who just went purple overall by half a second.
Intense stuff for battle for third. Fletcher currently running out in front. Chase Hand able to get around Stanfield out in front.
No, sorry, was trying to help you out there. Jeremy Fletcher just got by Finnegan Bailiff while I was talking about the other group. So Fletcher now into third.
Yeah, Fletcher into third. Liberante running in the fifth position now with also Gavin Bailiff running out in fourth. I was just told apparently who was leading out in front, Brandon Lemke, is driving with one hand. I'm not sure if that was involved at the inside. I mean, that was one heck of an impact. I'm still shocked that both Liberante and Lemke are still running, but apparently he's driving around with just his left hand down. We got a quick clip of that before. I think we're going to pan over to that here shortly.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick up Brandon Lemke to see what they're talking about. That was a good check here. Again, he got hit, and it looks like his left hand, an injured Brandon Lemke. I mean, he got drove into hard, and Liberante's cart was up on his left side pod. I don't know if it broke the wrist or what of Brandon Lemke, but he is wheeling that thing one-handed in 13th right now. I mean, this is a drive, no matter what you may think of the driver, if Lemke, again, is able to contend for this KA Senior Championship, they're going to look back here on round number 2, the Sunday main, where he's trying to make a pass around the outside on Matthew Mockabee and does, and is wheeling one-handed here. An injured Brandon Lemke, probably an injured go-kart, definitely an injured hand. One-handed right now, currently P12. That is something, folks.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but that steering wheel doesn't look all that straight when he was going down the straightaway, so I'm wondering how much damage is actually done. Going to pan over back to the leaders. Alex Stanfield still out in front. Chase Hand running in P2, and here comes a party of the battle for third. Fletcher in P3 has now caught up to the back bumper of Hand. Gavin Bailiff not too far behind with Race Liberante running in the 5th position. One more lap burn. It is 12 more in the books. Camera's panning over. You can see him coming out of turn number 2. Alex Stanfield out in front. Hand, P2, and here comes Fletcher up into the 3rd spot. Fletcher now making a move for 2nd to get around Chase Hand.
Good pass there by Jeremy Fletcher. Chase Hand right behind him. Finnegan Bailiff and Liberante just kind of watching. They seem to be at least quick enough to follow Fletcher forward. And now it's 2 GWR, Tony Karts out front, and Alex Stanfield making his return to the seat. And Jeremy Fletcher trying to continue the 100cc dominance that he's had to start 2022. Behind him again with Hand, and we've got one in the wall. Brooke Berry has pounded the barrier coming out of turn number 6. The 912 unfortunately going to hop on out, and that will end the young lady's day out of Houston, Texas. The Iron Rock Tony Kart has smashed the wall. Let's go back on an update with Brandon Lemke, currently still running in 12th right now. Again, hopping the curbs and driving the cart with a bent steering column, a bent steering wheel. You can see it's offset. And again, his left hand injured. He's digging, trying to hang on. A veteran drive and a drive with a lot of heart. Brandon Lemke up to 11th now with everything falling down. And we look further up the grid. There is the pack ahead of him that started to pull away a little bit with Connor Ferris leading Josh Holtz. That is for 5th. And then we go back towards 6th. And then we go back up to the front. We'll pick up our top 5 here in just a moment.
Top 5 goes as follows: Stanfield, Fletcher, Hand falling back into 3rd, Bailiff 4th, Liberante rounding out the top 5 in the 5th position. There they are down into turn 10. Liberante actually looks like he's made up a couple of positions. He has actually gotten around both Bailiff and I believe that is Chase Hand now running back into the 5th position. So Liberante is now going to find himself into 3rd, as we just see when the camera pans back around. Fletcher into P2, and he is slowly starting to catch back up to Alex Stanfield, who's the leader going down into turn number 1. 10 laps to go, still plenty of time. Fletcher's got to play it smart here. Stanfield led for most of the race. He is now sitting pretty comfortably, but I don't know how much comfortable he's going to set now that Fletcher's closing back up. And off in the distance, Race Liberante, who has a lot of experience in karting, nearly 26 years old, probably has about 20 years in karting, is slowly starting to catch the 2 young guns running out in front.
Yeah, Liberante trying to get there. Again, this is all provisional here. He was involved in that incident that has Brandon Lemke driving around one-handed. Heavy contact at the exit of turn number 6 as they work their way around the backstretch now. Here comes Fletcher to the bumper. 4 car lengths back to Liberante. Does he work with Stanfield? I think he's going to go as soon as he gets there. He's been about 2 to 3 tenths a lap quicker than his fellow teammate. And the 906 is going to feel the heat from himself, from Liberante. Bailiff and Hand, they're even a little bit quicker as well if they can get it together. Down out of turn number 2. This time, 9 in, 9 to go, halfway through. Here comes Jeremy Fletcher, looking inside, new leader, and the 922 goes to the front.
Fletcher out in front, first time he's led all race long. Now we see Liberante in 3rd, now coming into view, trying to reel in the back bumper of Alex Stanfield, making their way through turn 7 over into the chicane. Stanfield is a little bit slower than Fletcher, but now that he's got the toe to his advantages, he can try to make a move down into turn number 9 on the back bumper. Let's see if he's going to try to pop out last second. He will not. He will follow, and here comes Liberante down to about 2 kart lengths off the back bumper of Alex Stanfield as they make their way to turn number 11.
So through 11, 12, and 13, they'll hop the curbing here. Liberante closes up even closer here to Stanfield and Fletcher. 2 car lengths back. Right now, about a half second back from Liberante, finds Finnegan Bailiff still. He and Chase Hand that time by matched Fletcher. Not enough to close, but at least enough to wait for the battle to open up. Stanfield that time slowed a little bit. Liberante again is up 8 spots, getting there, half a kart back through 6. And you can see the gap here between all of them, only about a 2 3/4. 1st to 5th right now. Stanfield doing a great job holding on here. When you get past like that, it's hard not to get rattled, Caleb, of course. You know it as well. And it's also very impressive that he's able to pick up Fletcher's line this quickly to make sure he finds out where Jeremy was faster and try to mimic it.
Yeah, and he's keeping a very calm head right now. He's got a lot of pressure from behind coming from Liberante. Obviously, he's trying to keep up with Fletcher as they make their way down into turn 11. And as you said before, fantastic job of going right to the back of his line and trying to make sure that he can keep with him.
Brandon Lemke that time by was only a 10th off the leaders, one-handed with a bent steering shaft. He is closing in on the pack in front of him, might still be able to salvage a top 10. That's that group there from about 6th to 10th. Just ahead of him, James Bird in the 983. Last time by, Lemke was nearly 2 seconds faster than Bird, who I think got boot and scooted out of the way. Josh Holtz leads the pack. He was a 10th slower than a one-handed Brandon Lemke. Aaron Benoit there on your screen. He's up 17 spots from a rough qualifying, rough pre-final, and the 925 is now into the top 10 securely in 8th, closing to Connor Ferris and Josh Oates. 7 laps to go. We'll see what kind of points Lemke can make up as we pick the leaders back. Here is Finnegan Bailiff and Chase Hand, and there is Jeremy Fletcher out front over Stanfield and Liberante.
I think Lippy's thinking long-term here. He's thinking championships, not just this race. If he can stick it out and just finish in the top 10, recover some points, he won't have as large of a deficit. Coming off of a win from yesterday is a great motivation to get you forward. Camera panning around now. Here comes the rest of the field. That is that mid-pack battle. Now we're going to switch back over to the leaders. There's Fletcher holding off Stanfield. Liberante. He's closing in on the 2 out in front. Stanfield and Fletcher as they make their way out of 6, heading down into 7. Liberante loses just a little bit. It looks like he's adjusting the carb going into turn 7. His hand was off the wheel for a split second, and now he is catching or trying to stay within striking distance of Stanfield and Fletcher.
Here's Lemke coming through the sweeper. Last time by, Brandon Lemke set his best lap of the race. Only a 10th off the leader, Jeremy Fletcher. Right now he is digging hard. 2 tenths faster than Bird. He's still closing into that group there. Here's the top 3, no change. 1, 2, 3 with 6 to go. Plenty of time left here as they round the final corner. Fletcher, Stanfield, Liberante down the front stretch with 5 more laps around left here in Orlando.
Looking back too, Gavin Bailiff and Chase Hand are, I think they may be edging to close that gap between the top
they
three.
lost the 10th that time by 57.8 for Bailiff, 57.7 unfortunately for Jeremy Fletcher.
Well, they're dropping down, but I'd be curious to know if these three, I don't think they're going to battle out to the last 2 laps, but hypothetically, if they did, I'd want to see what that time looks like, even if they are a little bit slower. Just the matter of people driving the inside line, backing up the field. We may have a 5-car battle here in the last 5 laps. We don't know. Obviously, in the past micro races, some drivers came back from 2 seconds and able to come back for a top 3 finish, so anything is possible. We're definitely going to keep an eye on that as we look over, and there they are going down into turn number 10.
New leader, Alex Stanfield, going to take his chance at the top. He'll take over the lead. Liberante takes over second. He signals for Fletcher to work together. Let's go forward. Big curb hop there from Race, and that'll back him up. That's exactly what you mentioned, Caleb. That's exactly what's happening and exactly what's needed for Finnegan, Bailiff, and Chase Hand to get into the mix here. Stanfield, the new leader, with 4 to go.
Down into turn 1, out of the exit of turn 2. Stanfield out in front. Fletcher falls back to third. His tenure of leading has come to a close, but he's trying to get it right back. Liberante is all over the wheel right now, sawing at it coming out of turn 4. He's still doing the same as make the way out of turn 5. 1, 2, 3. You can see him in the tuck, trying to get as much momentum as he can, as he has lost about a half a car length so far to Stanfield. I don't think that's because he's losing time. Oh, we got 2 wheels up in the air coming over the curbing. He is desperate to try to get a good run going down this backstretch.
Very close there for Race Liberante. We'll stay locked on the leaders here as much as we can. Here he comes, and the Race Factory pilot, the Mr. Race Factory. Race Liberante takes over the lead. Alex Stanfield back to second there as they hop the curbs into the final sector. Finnegan, Bailiff, and Chase Hand, they're now less than 1.2 seconds back. 3 laps to go at a 3-car battle, nearly 5 up front as Jeremy Fletcher reaches over, makes a carb adjustment, change in the lead again. Stanfield back by in turns 1 and 2.
While all this is happening, Finnegan Bailiff has closed up 1/10 that last lap. Not a huge margin as Liberante sends it down on the inside. That is going to be Fletcher who follows. Stanfield goes back to third. Here comes, Stanfield thought about going up on the inside. Now Fletcher up into P2 on the back bumper of Liberante. Keep looking at the gap for 4th and 5th. It closed up by a 10th, not a whole lot, but there's only more competition racing that's going to come here in the next 2 laps.
Good attempt by Fletcher. He gets into the side pod of Liberante, and oh man, Jeremy Fletcher tried to go for the lead. He's going to back up to his teammate. Stanfield gives him a little shove, keeps him close, and again, that bottlenecks them more. You can see Bailiff and Hand, they're almost into frame. Final corners now. Fletcher inside, clear. Liberante crossover move. Here they come down the front stretch. Side by side for the lead. Liberante gives way, and he goes to defend a little from Stanfield. 2 to go.
Into turn 1, now into turn 2, and now the exit. Fletcher out in front, Liberante P2, Stanfield running in third. Bailiff coming up strong from behind along with Chase Hand. They are now probably within about 2 kart lengths of the top 3. There goes down to the inside to defend was Fletcher. Liberante thought about trying the crossover, tucks him behind. Now we have a 4-kart, almost a 5-kart battle for the lead. Liberante got a little loose on entry, backs up the midfield, but he is going to try to hard charge coming out of turn 9.
Yeah, Fletcher forcing everyone back nose to tail. Not a good exit there for anyone, really. No one's going to be able to do anything, I think, in the hairpin. Liberante looking, little bump, little shove on the exit. He's on the outside now, and he knows it. Here comes Stanfield to take over second. Liberante drops to third. Stanfield follows his teammate down. Liberante,
up and over Fletcher.
Way wide. Race Liberante over the top of Jeremy Fletcher, and now it is Chase Hand in the new lead. And Hand is around in turn 1.
The race that no one wants to win. White flag is out. That's going to put, who's that going to put in the lead? That's going to put
Finnegan
Bailiff in the lead.
Leader.
And Stanfield right behind Bailiff. So now we got a 2-kart battle for the lead. Bailiff, who previously was running in the 4 spot, down by a little while, is now up in front trying to hold off Stanfield, who was up in the 3-pack the entire time.
Finnegan Bailiff came so close to getting that first career pro national win just a couple weeks ago in Homestead. Down the backstretch for the final time. Alex Stanfield going to make him work for it. Here comes Stanfield to the bottom. He found a hole. He can't fully get there. There's contact. Bailiff is wide. Stanfield to the lead.
I don't know how easy Bailiff's going to be coming into the chicane. He was able to save a little bit of momentum through the chicane. Not the best passing point. You got to do it right now. There goes Stanfield to defend. Bailiff around the outside. He can't get it done.
There. Stanfield closes him off. Alex Stanfield return to racing, puts him in the winner's circle.
How about that for a finish?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you were not entertained, I don't know what will get you going here in an afternoon of racing action. Alex Stanfield gets the thumbs up from Finnegan Bailiff. Bailiff almost had it. Liberante crosses the line third. Elbows up racing all around. And in a classic KA100 Senior Bash Fest, the lights class. The class where you got young guys proving themselves, veterans coming back, warming up, and just a big old-fashioned pack race to the end. Wow.
There's Jeremy Fletcher coming into the pit lane. I'm curious if he has any comments about what happened between himself and Liberante.
We've got a great shot here of the scale line on one of our other cameras. We'll see if anyone goes up and has any words with another driver there. Liberante going to hop out slowly. I don't know if we'll see anyone come talk to anybody. Alex Stanfield is out. Here comes Brandon Lemke. Oh, they are not happy with each other right there. Brandon Lemke and Race Liberante sharing some words here in the scale line again. Lemke drove all the way back up to 6th. Oh, man, if we almost have that shot if we could just get the official. So as we look here, trying to find Lemke going back. And I think that was it there. So, yeah, Liberante now he's having a little chat with Jeremy Fletcher about the final lap, trying to probably figure out what happened. I think a lot of drivers are definitely going to go and look at the replay here again. Lemke showing the left hand to Race Liberante. He drove one-handed all the way through to the end of the main event and drove it to 6th with the fastest lap of the session. A 57.613. Brandon Lemke with pace to win, one-handed. Nearly top fives it. And again, a championship-defining run here for Brandon Lemke as he starts off his bid. Won yesterday, and wow, a lot just went down there here from Orlando. The action's going to roll on, folks. We've got, of course, Aiden Rudolph, unfortunately, another driver that was probably in contention to win this one. And if you enjoyed what you saw, if you were entertained, well, there's more main events coming your way. Stick with us, folks. Kart Chasers coverage of the U.S. Pro Kart Series rolls on here with round 1 in Orlando.
USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParolinUSA.com. As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and most of all, win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked national-level team to back it up, we'll help to get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching to the parts you need to get you back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer. Are you looking to up your web presence and digital footprint? Here at Novice Web, we help businesses elevate their value through custom software development, responsive website design, e-commerce,
and ALML services. Our customer-focused engineers have over 10 years of experience. Let Novus Web design your first online impression. Overdrive Motorsports is more than just another full-service kart shop. Beyond our excellent service and more than 20 years of experience, we also offer a number of aftermarket parts and upgrades, such as our own proprietary pedal kit and the only aftermarket rock shifter mount in North America. Check us out online at odkarts.com.
I'm David Serra, 18-time Australian karting champion, and we're launching Kart Class. Kart Class is an advanced digital training program that suits a driver who's just starting out in the sport, all the way to the driver looking to win a national championship. In this program, you're going to be learning about how to find the ideal racing line and what an apex is. Braking and throttle markers, wet weather racing lines, and how to overtake other competitors. We target how to brake in the wet weather, and we look on the mental side of kart racing as well with our mental skills coach. At the completion of this program, you'll be lighting up purple sectors in qualifying, know when to defend on the opening laps, and how to pressure your opposition into mistakes. We teach you the tools to be resilient and how to get in the right frame of mind before a race. We look to complete the whole package by getting a strong mindset, a driving style to suit all conditions, strategizing your race, and getting the last 1% from your team. We'll teach you how to win the final lap of a race, driving the wet like Max Verstappen, and creating the perfect bubble for yourself to mentally be in the zone. To find out more, click the link below.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex Rock engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. If you're looking for top-grade equipment, look no further than Rev Performance Materials, engine mounts, sprockets, and RK chains. Available online now at revperformancematerials.com and through a dealer near you. The highest quality material, built to the highest quality standards. Rev Performance Materials. Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParallelinUSA.com.
Welcome back here live from Orlando Kart Center. They're still doing post-race tech inspection and scaling. When they do, we've got a lot of questions and not a lot of answers for that KA100 Senior main event. Lots of guys to talk to. I'm hoping we can get a chance to talk to Brandon Lemke, both about the incident that potentially hurt and injured his hand or wrist on his left arm on the first couple laps with Grace Liberante, and also how he was able to drive back through the field to sixth one-handed, and what that drive was like. Then, of course, you got to talk to everybody involved in the finish. Jeremy Fletcher, Alex Stanfield, the eventual winner. Finnegan Bailiff just kind of kept his nose clean and really didn't do too much, I think, unless Bailiff was involved in the incident that spun Chase Hand. Hand, of course, again, got to the lead for all of maybe 500 feet, the length of the front straightaway, then ends up spun around backwards in turn number one. And then, of course, you got Race Liberante, who was kind of in a couple different things that were definitely, well, let's say controversial. here with the racing. I mean, he was trying to go for the lead, had a crazy move that would have stuck, and just kind of the hole closed on him when he went on top of Jeremy Fletcher. And then I don't know what his take would be on the contact when him and Brandon Lemke collided coming out of turn number 6 early on in the main event. But we're going to try and talk to as many as are willing to come on our broadcast here and do some post-race interviews. In the meantime, X30 Pro Junior getting set to go green. Aiden Ingrata starting on the point. Caleb Gaffera starts second. Leo Scorpioni third. They've been the class of the field here, especially at the end of that pre-final. Max Garcia starts fourth. The best of the rest trying to chase him down. 44 drivers strong for your X30 Junior division. It was the front row here yesterday, the same two. And Aiden Ingrata with a great jump leads them into turn number 1.
See if there's anyone going to try to get two wheels up in the air. There are, going through turn 1 now into turn 2. Usually the most hectic parts of the start, but it looks like it's fairly clean. Ingrata now going to be up on point. Garfera going to go into P2, and I believe that is Max Garcia making his way up into the 3rd position. Oh, a little bit of contact there coming out of turn 4. A couple drivers dipping some wheels. They're using the runoff.
So Ingrata leads over Gaffera, Garcia, DeLong, Christian Miles up to 5th here with a great start. They'll round turns 8 and 9 and head down the back straightaway here. Nice lead for the group as they head towards turn 10.
Two karts we've seen up front most of the entire weekend. Ingrata and Garfera running out in front. Max Garcia now making his way up into P3. Leonardo Scorpioni not too far behind in the 5th position.
Actually down to 6 behind Christian
Sixth,
Miles.
my bad.
Just ahead of one more. I can't identify here coming across. I think it might be Ernesto Rivera in the Cosmic. No, that's, I'm not sure exactly. We're yet to go green here on the timing monitor. We'll go green, I'm sure, in a moment. Aiden Ingrata leads them into 5. Garcia defending a little bit. Miles stuffs the inside on Parker DeLong.
Making their way into turn 5. Here comes Garcia trying to get around Garfera. He will do so. Max Garcia now up into 2nd. Aiden Ingrata enjoying the battle from behind. Continues to open up a lead. Garcia now is going to have to go on the offensive and try to run down Ingrata, your leader. Meanwhile, Caleb Garfera running in P3 is going to tuck in right behind Max Garcia as they make their way down into turn 10.
Got a quick announcement here. We've got a truck and trailer at the front gate that needs to be moved, please. Again, a truck and trailer at the front gate that needs to be moved. Back onto the racing action here. Aiden Ingrata takes him out of turn number 13 once again. We'll put another lap down of the 20-lap X30 Pro Junior main. Garcia under fire. Gaffera will take back the 2nd spot in turn 1.
Garfera now going to move up into the 2nd position. Is going to bump Garcia back down into 3rd. Let's see if Garfera is able to run down Ingrata for the lead. Those two have been out in front almost all weekend long, especially with the X30, as they make their way out of turn number 5, heading down into the sweeper. That is turn 6 or 7. Hard onto the offensive is Max Garcia, who is in P3, trying to see if he can't run back down Caleb Garfera. Garfera, meantime, is trying to run down your leader of Ingrata. Ingrata last lap had a 6/10 of a second lead over 2nd placeman of Garfera. Making their way out of turn 10, coming down now. It looks like they're all equally spaced. Maybe Garcia a little bit closer to Garfera than Garfera is to Ingrata. Snaking their way around the final corner, down towards Mayshore. We're going to burn one more lap. We're going to go to lap number 17 out of 20. Christian Miles up in the 4th spot, moving up 3 positions. Parker DeLong is able to hold on to the 5th spot where he started at, and Leonardo Scorpioni started up towards the front, back 3 positions into 6th, out trying to see if he can't catch back up and reclaim the territory he lost.
Alex, Aiden Ingrata here, Caleb Gaffera. That time by was a 10th quicker. Christian Miles on your screen, 3 positions gained. Parker DeLong coming with them. They were a little bit slower than the leaders last time. We'll see now with some more clear racetrack if they can improve the pace, as here comes a big group there. We've got 2 drivers slowing on the front straight away at the end of the pack as your leaders are headed into turn 10. DeLong to the bumper of Miles. He'll push him as they head for 11, 12, and 13. Trying to get up to the top 3 as they close together. Ingrata this time I think is going to give up a little more to the gap. Back to Gaffera. Max Garcia trying to get there in 3rd. 16 laps to go. 57 flat for Ingrata. An 8 for Gaffera. Move him 0.2 faster. And 0.1 faster for Max Garcia that time by. Meanwhile, even for Christian Miles and Parker DeLong to the top 2.
Gaffera is closing up on the back bumper of Ingrata like was stated before. But the thing is, these two know not to run back and forth when it comes to the earlier parts of the race. They're probably going to stay together, and maybe if they do make a pass, it's going to be where they don't lose momentum, so they can try to pull away from Garcia, Miles, and DeLong. But right now, Miles and DeLong are trying to run down the rest of the field. Miles, though, I think maybe slightly holding up Parker DeLong as they can go down into turn number 10.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was much quicker here. DeLong giving him the benefit of the doubt to try and pick up some speed as Gaffera pulls up to the rear end of Aiden Ingrata. Max Garcia coming along for the ride here. He's about 4 cars back. We saw for a brief moment there the battles behind the leaders. Teddy Musella leads the next train 3 seconds away from the lead, 2 seconds back from the rear bumper of Parker, or a second and a half back from Parker DeLong. Gaffera, will he go to the lead? He will. He's not going to wait. New leader, Caleb Gaffera, goes by on Aiden Ingrata.
Third placeman Max Garcia is liking the show he sees out in front. He wants them to keep that up. Keep going back and forth. Allow me to close back up, make it a 3-kart battle for the lead, and then when we go on about 10 laps from now with 5 to go, I might be able to make my move. Meanwhile, Christian Miles, Parker DeLong, Teddy Musella running in 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're trying to see maybe if they can get Garcia up in there, get 3 karts involved. That might back the field up even more. May have a bigger kart battle for the lead, but we don't know. 15 laps is quite a long time. We've seen it all today, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
Here they come to turns 11, 12, and 13. Gaffera yaws it sideways as Garcia is going to close a little more here this lap with the pass. Not a great exit out of turn 13, though, for the MPG Motorsports Will Power Kart as they head towards turn number 1 and 2. Let's give you an update on the lap times. Gaffera, purple, fastest overall, pulling away a little bit from everybody. Christian Miles was the second quickest. Parker DeLong, third fastest that lap. 2/10 slower for Ingrata, a 10th slower for Max Garcia. Teddy Musella was on pace with the leaders. Leo Escorpione, who got a terrible start, down in the 7th spot. He's decently quick now with DeLong having finally gone by Christian Miles. Let's see if the Ryan Perry Motorsport Tony Kart driver can get going.
We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that as we are now zooming into who I believe, you may have to correct me on this, but is that Christian Miles running in the 4th spot and Parker DeLong right behind. DeLong probably not as close as he wants to be to Miles. Garcia at the bottom of the screen. These two are going all sorts of curves, trying to cut as much time and distance off the track as they can in hopes to catch back up to Garcia.
7 laps complete, 13 laps to go. Caleb Gaffera, Aiden Ingrata, Max Garcia, Parker DeLong, Christian Miles. Again, your top 5. While they start to stabilize out here, we've got, I believe, the first of many hopeful interviews that we'll be setting up for KA100 Senior to try and digest what went down in their main event. Race Liberante has now caught up here with Jenna Tommy. We're going to send it on down here to the pit lane. Jenna, take it away.
Xander, I'm here with Race Liberante, who is our KA Senior winner. Race, can you tell me about the incident that happened with Lemke?
Yeah, he got me really hard in the pre-final, and you know, I've always said that I'll race anybody the way I get raced, and he decided to do something stupid in the pre-final, so I did something stupid in the main, and it's racing. This class is like extremely rough, and there's a lot of lack of respect out there. So if that's how we got to play, then I'm down to play like that, but I'd rather have a nice, clean race. It just sucks that some guys don't care to gain some respect the first time you see them on track.
Yeah, clean racing is definitely more ideal. What was the rest of the race like for you?
Honestly, the track was super greasy, and I kind of set the car up that way, so you know, it was just line selection at that point and backing up the corners and staying patient. I just kind of wanted to ride in third and see if Fletcher and the Stanfield were going to battle it out, but didn't really exactly happen, and I ended up ramping over Fletcher at one point when they got pushed wide, and apologies to him, but yeah, it's part of racing, and take this. It's not it's not the way I like to win by any means, with penalties and whatnot, but we'll take it and bring one home for Baldoza Racing.
Yeah, who's been helping you out this weekend? Who do you want to thank?
I got to thank Baldoza Racing and Catawba Farms and Zier Vineyards. They're the reason this happens for me. Obviously, my whole Race Factory family and crew there, Keegan, my girlfriend Alexis, and Molecule, Stilo USA, Liquid Sky Sports, Group A Apparel, and everybody else that helps me back at home. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Race. Back to you guys.
Wow, so Race Liberante declared the winner here in that crazy battle. I think some pushback penalties probably for Finnegan, Bailiff, and Alex Stanfield. Not sure how it all went down, but we want to talk to as many of the finishers as we can. And again, we're going to line them all up here for Jenna to chat with. Race Liberante said he didn't want to win him that way, didn't like racing that way, but you know what? If you got to, race that way to win, he's going to have to, and of course doesn't like winning off the penalty box either, but either way, it ends up that way. So Caleb Gaffera continues to lead here. We'll keep the side-by-side action going. Let's take it down to Jenna Tommy, who's caught up with Brandon Lemke, get his take on everything that just went down. Jenna?
Xander, I'm here with Brandon Lemke. You had a really, really hard hit with Race Liberante. We just heard his take on it. What was yours?
I really don't remember what happened. All I know is I was in front, and then next thing you know, I'm getting ran over and then having to drive with one arm. So I guess going fast lap with one arm and, a bent steering wheel and probably bent chassis isn't too bad. But, yeah, I mean, everybody else is respectful out there, and there's always just that one guy. But I'm not upset. It's just racing. It is what it is.
Yeah, definitely an impressive drive. How did you manage to turn fastest lap with one hand?
I got a great team behind me. They really know what they're doing. Super supportive family, super supportive friends, everybody back home in Wisconsin. I don't know. Everything just kind of fell into place. We made some changes, and it ended up being so good he could drive with one arm. So, I mean, obviously it was the right call. So, I got to give the credit to the guys, the engine builder and my family and friends.
Who is that engine builder?
Daniel Walter, of course, yeah.
And you got Franklin Motorsports behind you this weekend?
Yep, Franklin Motorsports. We're kind of doing our own thing. We're in our own little tent with like 2 other guys that I'm helping out. Yeah. So, got them and my parents, of course, Millwright, and everybody back home, all my family supporting me. It was a fun weekend.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Brandon. We're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jenna. And, he kept it about as professional as he could. Like he said, he felt the racing was respectful out there, but there's always one guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's always one guy when you're out on track. Obviously, 2 sides to every story. We heard both sides. Take your opinion with what you want. I'm sure both these guys are going to go back and look at the replay. Both stories are probably going to change by the end of this afternoon, I have no doubt.
Well, let's give you an update of what we've missed here while we've gone side by side. Christian Miles has faded a little bit. Leo Scorpioni has gone by him to take over the 5th spot. Parker DeLong's also found some more speed. He's climbed his way up to 3rd, gotten by Max Garcia. We're watching Leo Scorpioni, again, currently 5th. Miles in 6th, Teddy Musella in 7th. Aiden Ingrata and Caleb Gaffera still continuing an unmatched pace right now as they lead the way here with 8 laps to go, 12 laps complete in this main event. Here's Ingrata taking you through the sweeper with about a 3-car length cushion back to Gaffera.
Ingrata was able to get around. We went side by side. Just like Sanders said before, Gaffera now is going to have to go on the offensive and see if he can't run him back down. Parker DeLong, Max Garcia has fallen back 1 position. He got passed by DeLong. Scorpioni running in P number 5 with Christian Miles in the 6th position. As we're watching now, that is Ingrata out in front. Gaffera running in P number 2 out of the last corner. Gaffera, he was out in front, went quickest, and then suddenly Ingrata came by, turned fastest lap, and then now he finds himself out in front. Gaffera finds himself struggling for 2nd. Not quite sure if Ingrata maybe had his kart set up for the end or if he just decided to save it till probably about after halfway, which we're at right now. We're over halfway. 7 laps to go with 6 more to go at the line next time by. The rest of the field are coming out from behind them as they are currently holding on to a 2.1-second lead.
7 laps to go, as you mentioned, 13 complete. Aiden Ingrata, so close to a main event win yesterday, was about 5 corners away when Gaffera was able to get down the inside in turn 10 and never looked back. As they head out of the corner here, they'll head to 11, 12, and 13, still with a 2.5-second gap back to Parker DeLong, who had his best lap of the race last time by, but he was 0.2, but he was still a 1/10 of a second shy of Ingrata's pace. This time by the stripe. Where do the lap times land them? Ingrata a 1.9, Gaffera a 1.1, DeLong a 3.6, so another 0.2 given up by Parker DeLong. These two, class of the field, class of the weekend. Aiden Ingrata, Caleb Gaffera, unmatched pace. Again, 2.5 seconds and growing back to Parker DeLong, who's holding on to that final podium spot by about half a second over Max Garcia. And that's not to knock on anyone else in this class. Parker DeLong finished 2nd, highest finishing American, got onto the podium at the Rock International Final last year in Rock Junior. He's looking on another junior year, one of the smaller kids in the class, and one of the younger kids who moved up early. He's now finding himself with a little bit of experience in the division. Himself and Max Garcia, of course, battled for the SCUSA Pro Tour title in 2020. and battled across the country that year. Moved up rookie season in 2021. Sophomore season in the works now for Parker DeLong. Super P from Phoenix, Arizona. Now looking for a podium finish all the way across the country here in Orlando, Florida. Him and his dad, Billy, dedicated racers, and they're getting after it right now here in X30 Pro Junior, pulling away from Max Garcia and Leo Scorpioni, a couple Florida kids who finally get to race a little closer to home.
Tell you one thing between the battle between Garcia and Scorpioni. Scorpioni last time went about 4/10 of a lap faster than Garcia. I think this might be the closest battle we'll see until we get towards the end between Gafara and Ingrata. Scorpioni last lap won his personal best of a 56.1 flat. Garcia won a 56.5. So as I said before, 4/10 quicker. Leaders now making their way out of turn 10. Off in the distance, you can see Garcia and Scorpioni making their way. There it is, Scorpioni, as we were off camera, able to get around Max Garcia. Leaders now making their way around. There is Scorpioni and Max Garcia in the Will Power Kart coming out of the final corner. So now Scorpioni up into the 4th position. He started in P3. Now he's only lost 1 in total. Meanwhile, Ingrata and Gafara way out in front. 4 laps to go currently. We're going to have about 3 remaining next time by. It's going to be coming down to make or break time for Gafara. Time's running out. You got to figure out if you're going to be able to catch back up and when you can make your move.
Yeah, here we go as they work their way towards 3 laps to go. On your screen here, a good battle outside the top 5. Jacob Kolar's made up a number of spots here this final. The PK Sports Alonso Kart driver teammates to Victor Franzoni. Up 8 positions from 16th into the top 10, challenging for 6th, and not too far down the road back from this group here. As they come out of turn number 10, Leo Scorpioni, having gone by on Max Garcia a few laps ago, now finds himself pulling further away, and Garcia slipping backwards with Musella, Miles, and Kolar trying to bear down in the final stages. 3 laps remaining here in Orlando. Aiden Ingrata and Caleb Gafara, no change up front. That's why we've got this battle on the screen here back around the 6th position. Here we go, we'll pick your leaders up again. Turn 5, Ingrata's lead, 2 car lengths back to Gafara.
I just don't think Gafara's going to have enough as we pan back over to the battle for the 5th position. Sorry, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Musella, Miles, and Kolar running 6th, 7th, and 8th respectively. There they are making their way out of turn 6, heading into 7. That is Musella out in front. Christian Miles in the Lando Norris kart. He is trying to set it up for kill mode as he is reeling in Musella. And right behind, Jacob Kolar maybe just sitting back, waiting for his opportunity to pop out on the inside, maybe make a pass here in turn 10. Let's switch back over. Here's a battle for the lead. Aiden Ingrata out in front. Caleb Gafara running in P2. This time by 2 laps remain. I don't think Gafara is close enough to make a move anytime soon.
No, he lost a little bit more that time by. Ingrata gave up some ground the lap before, then he pulls back a 0.5 quicker. It's kind of just a rubber band effect, really, Caleb. He'll close a little bit, he'll fall back a little bit, and it stays at that 3 to 4/10 mark as it has been for the majority of the second half of this main event. 2 laps to go now. Is it crunch time? Not yet here in this group as we're watching Musella try to lead them up to Garcia. They're staying single file. And then your leaders here still 1st and 2nd. Can Caleb Gafara get there? Can Aiden Ingrata get some redemption for Saturday and find himself on the top step of the podium to end the weekend in Orlando?
We talk about crunch time. I think it's going to have to be crunch time for Gafara if he wants to try to make a move anytime soon. As you said before, he fell off the pace a little bit, down by 3/10, almost 4. He's going to have to pull something out of the top, pull a hat trick if he really wants to try to get a win here. You can see him making their way around. He is closing back up. 1 more lap to go. He's going to have to really get after it soon.
Yeah, final lap underway. Gafara tucking all the way down to the braking zone, trying to get his head out of the air. Try to get a little bit closer. That time by picked off 2/10. Ingrata slowed down. Ingrata knows he's there. He's going to open the door, and Gafara finds a hole. Caleb Gafara, your new leader here, headed to turn 6. He'll cover the inside. I don't think Ingrata thought he was close enough. Gafara sent it down the inside. Ingrata now through the carousel, trying to go back on the offense. 1/2 lap to go into turn 8.
I don't mean this as a diss on Ingrata, but Caleb Gafara kind of caught him sleeping. He did leave the door wide open, as he said before, but now we see him back up on the inside. He's going to have to set it back up. He's going to have the advantage going into the corner, but he's going to have to roll that inside line as they're still side-by-side mid-corner.
Great crossover by Aiden Ingrata. Out of 10, he's back in the lead. Gafara trying to go to the outside. He'll fake it, sends it deep, through the curb, over the grass, and through the final corner. Aiden Ingrata survives, and he'll win here on Sunday. Caleb Gafara frustrated there as he came across the line. He tried it around the outside. You can't fault him for going after it, sent it around the outside lane, and he just couldn't hang on, and Grata closed him off a little bit there, but really just hard racing, and I'm sure as soon as he's able to cool off here in the scales, shake hands here in a hard-fought battle for both of them, and Grata comes out victorious. Gafera second, Leonardo Scorpioni, Max Garcia, Jacob Collard in the final 2 laps, gets by both Teddy Musella and Christian Miles. He ends 10 spots up in 6th. Great run for the kid from Key West, Florida. Teddy Musella, another Floridian, in 7th. Christian Miles makes his way up to 8th. Jorge Ortiz 9th. Sebastian Weldon rounds the top 10. Michael Costello, 25 spots gained. Hard Charger comes up to 15th here from dead last on the grid. And another last lap battle here in Orlando. This one in X30 Pro Junior for the 2nd day in a row. Ingrata and Gafera, a sign of respect here and a head nod, it looks like, there between the pair of them as they get set to roll through post-race tech inspection. If you like that, there's more coming. 3 more main events still coming your way here at folks from Orlando Kart Center. X30 Master, Mini Swift, and our headline class X30 Pro still to come on this Sunday afternoon for the opening weekend of the United States Pro Kart Series.
I'm Billy Vincent, owner of MPG Motorsports. What we do at MPG is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere, try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun, sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, you know, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com, and one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParalleLUSA.com.
Welcome back here to round number 2 of USPKS in beautiful Orlando. There's a beautiful shot of the sky, a couple clouds in the air. We've been blessed with awesome weather all weekend long. We're about to get underway here with your X30 Masters. This has been a pretty straightforward event all weekend long. Big names up in the front. Danilo Romalo has had a fantastic weekend. Let's see if he can go for the clean sweep, trying to go for the win yesterday and today. Scotty Roberts is starting on the outside of row number 1. Mario Barrios is going to start next to Evan Batt. Laurent Madrin is going to start next to Miguel Meyer. Danny Robertson is going to start next to Scott Kopp. And Christian Vermeyer is going to start next to Robert Meyer. That is your top 10 for your X30 Masters. 18 laps is the distance. Some big names to keep an eye out for. Mario Barrios starting up in the third position. He's usually always quick. As always, Donalo Romalo is another big name to keep an eye on. Scotty Roberts, Mr. Consistent, has always been in the top 3. Evan Batt, who was running kind of towards mid-pack yesterday, finds himself starting in the 4th spot. He is on the outside of row number 2. As we all know, row 2 on the outside, or outside in general, I should say, is probably not the best way to get around. So everyone's struggling to fight down to get the inside line. Looks like we have a cart stopped off in the infield. Trying to see if we can get a cart number for you guys and a name. That is the 505. That is Kim Caparelli. Supposed to start in the 15th position. You can see he's obviously frustrated. Green flag is out, and it looks like it's going to be Donato Romalo making the point out. Oh, we got 2 carts up on top of each other. That looks like Mario Barrios. Turn around the 511. I think it is. That is 511 of Mario Barrios facing the wrong way after the start. Got up on top of another cart. He was able to get back around underway. Got another cart going way wide. Ran over the cone on the exit of turn 4. Rest of the field trying to get themselves single file. Looking now, we got the battles all over track. Down the back straight, you can see the leaders going by. That should be Donalo Romalo, who has now got himself a pretty hefty lead, making his way down into turn 10. Smooth sailing from now on for him, and we look back, there is the battle. I believe that is Laurent Madrin up into P number 2, following right behind. It looks to be, if I'm not mistaken, that should be Miguel Meyer running in the 3rd position across the line. My scoring time is now going to update. Malo out in front. Madrin is in P2. Danny Roberts up into 3rd. Christian Vermeyer moved up 5 positions on the start to get to the 4th position. Scotty Roberts has fallen back into P5. Evan Batt falls back 2 positions in 6th. Looks like a pass on the inside there in the mid-pack. Rest of the field making their way around. Looks like they've already got some separation between everybody as we continue on here with the X30 Masters event. There's a look now. Scotty Roberts running in the 5th spot, followed by Evan Batt in 6th. They're both fighting over who's going to get the top 5. Here it comes. Battle for the 2nd position. Laurent Madrin did lose 1 position to Danny Roberts. Robertson now up into P2. Christian Vermeyer still in the 4th spot, making their way down to the far side chicane before coming into the final corner, turn number 13 here. There's your leader, Donalo Romalo, making his way down towards the start-finish line for the 2nd time. 16 more laps to go. We have burned 2, 18 more. Battle for 3rd continues on. Fastest lap last time went to Scotty Roberts. I think he may have been frustrated with the start that he had, falling back 3 positions. He went purple. Say that just for a moment. Mario Barrios all the way back in 15th spot, who lost 12 positions. Finds himself the fastest cart on track. He went 56.8. In comparison, the fastest lap for leader, Donalo Romalo, last lap was a 57.206, but Mario Barrios has got to go to work if he wants to try to recover a top 10. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, just not going into view. There we go. Good shot of that mid-pack battle. There they go down the backstretch. 4 carts now battling it out for the 2nd position. That is Danny Roberts into P2. Laurent Madrin running in P number 3. Christian Vermeyer get a little wide there on the exit turn 13. Finds himself in the 3rd position. Christian Vermeyer running in P4. Scotty Roberts, he's trying to recover the 3 positions lost. Continues to run inside that top 5. There's a good shot there. That was Scotty Roberts able to get around Christian Vermeyer. He moves up 1 more spot into 4th. Vermeyer falls back into 5th. Roberts now, see if he can go on the hunt here and try to run down Laurent Madrin. Not too far ahead from him. Danny Robertson. Looks like Evan Batt, who was running behind Scotty Roberts, did not follow him through. Still finds himself in the 6th position. There's your leader going into turn number 10. That is Donalo Romalo. He's had a great run so far. Already opened up a 2-second lead, and we are now going to have 14 laps to go this time by. So early lead from an early start. Danny Robertson, he also has a great gap running in P2. Roughly about a 2.5 second deficit between himself and the cart behind. Laurent Madrin finds himself in 3rd position, but he's going to have a rear mirror full of Scotty Roberts running in the 4th spot. He is desperate to try to get back up onto a podium. Oh, here goes Evan Batt. He sends it up on the inside of Christian Vermeyer. They're going to go door to door, touch tires there for a moment, and it looks like it's going to be Vermeyer holding on to the spot. Evan Batt is going to have to settle back into the 6th spot, but I think he is far from done. He continues to work the back bumper of Vermeyer. Coming out of turns number 7, heading into 8, and then followed by 9. Up on the inside, gets two wheels up on the curb. Evan Batt loses all sorts of momentum on the exit. He's going to have to recover that if he wants to try to come back at Christian Vermeyer running in the 5th spot. Coming out of turn 10, there they are. There's the battle for the 3rd position. Laurent Madrin holding on to P3. Scotty Roberts, who had a poor start, trying to get his way back onto the podium. He is now on to the back bumper of Laurent Madrin. Sends it up on the inside into turn 1. He's going to take the spot away. Scotty Roberts now up on the podium. Laurent Madrin falls back to 4th. Evan Batt still on the back bumper of Christian Meyer. Here it is. Scotty Roberts leading the way over Danny Robertson now. Sorry, that's not Danny Robertson. That is actually Christian Vermeyer. They are both trying to run down Danny Robertson. Still sitting at a nice 3-second gap between himself and the car behind Danny Robertson. Beautiful shot here of the entire field. There's your leader. Look at the gap he's got over Danny Robertson running in P2. And I believe our own Jenna Tommy is downstairs. She has got the winner, Aiden Ingrata, up on grid. Let's see what his thoughts are. Jenna Tommy, take it away.
Thanks, Caleb. I'm here with Aiden Ingrata, who is our X30 Pro Junior winner. Tell me about that race. It was quite a battle with Caleb.
I mean, yeah, it's been a good race. It was fun battling with Caleb. It's been me and him all weekend, and I came on top, so yeah.
What was that extra secret that you had to get you on top?
I don't want to share my secrets.
Fair enough. Who helped you out this weekend?
I want to thank Alex and Mike, my parents for bringing me here, Mario for the really good engine, and yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Back up into the booth. As we're now looking on, it's the race out in front. Danilo Romalo has a huge lead over the rest of the field. Opened up a 2.5-second gap with 12 laps to go. It's going to be 11 to go next time by. We got a fantastic 3-car battle fleet. Here's a shot of your leader going all over the curbing, cutting off as much of the track as he possibly can while staying in it, making his way around. Here is the rest of the field. You can see the green helmet, blue cart. That is Evan Batt running in the 6th position. And the rest of the field follows behind. Miguel Meyer running in P number 8. Robert Meyer running in P9, and Mario Barrios has made his way back up to 10th after falling down 15 spots. He now finds himself inside the top 10. Evan Batt may have some company. It looks like Scott Kopp trying to make a move. Oh, here it is. There's another pass. Looks to be Mario Barrios getting around Robert Mayer. Barrios up one more spot. He is going to find himself into 9th. The 5-1-1 of Mario Barrios. Had a horrible start, looped around, was facing the wrong way. He finds himself inside the top 10, and he is now going to work, trying to see if he can catch back up. He was down by probably about 2 seconds on Christian Vermeyer, and it's got plenty of time, 11 laps to go, going to be 10 to go this next time by. See if he can catch back up and take off some more spots. He might be trying to go for a top 5. There's a beautiful shot there of Scotty Robertson. Scotty Roberts running in P3. He's trying to run down Danny Robertson. Behind him, there's a 3-car battle. Laurent Madrin and Evan Batt, followed by Scott Kopp. Good battles all over the track. And we go live now. Scott Kopp is trying to catch back up to Evan Batt. Evan Batt trying to defend for all he can to hold on to that 6th place position. He doesn't want to fall back any more than he has. He's already fallen back 1 spot into 5th after starting in 4th, and they go side by side. Evan Batt is going to be able to hold on to it, but how much longer? Scott Kopp is closing up quickly. He is desperate to try to make his way up into the top 5, and the first thing he's got to do is get around Evan Batt, who is the gatekeeper for that position. Beautiful shot now. Danilo Romalo leading the way over into the chicane. You can see how much of the curbs these karts actually take. We heard earlier from a couple of interviews from the Master guys. They said that these karts weigh so much that it's kind of a little bit of a bear to turn. A lot of times you find yourself, if you're kind of pushed a little bit, you use the curb to your advantage and move it around as much as you can. We look now. There is Mario Barrios up into the 9th spot. He was able to get around Robert Mayer as he finds himself struggling, trying to keep up with the pack. He's trying to run down into the top 5 after losing all those spots on the start. We're halfway this time by. 9 more laps to go. Danilo Romalo, who we're looking at now, coming out of turn 7, heading into 8 and 9. That is a large gap. That's a good visual between himself, Danny Robertson, Scotty Roberts running in P3. The rest of the pack following up close behind. Laurent Madrin running in P4. Evan Batt in the 5th spot. Scott Kopp, who's trying to get into the top 5 on the back bumper of Evan Batt. Out of turn 10 is your leader. That is second placement of Danny Robertson making his way through the quick little chicane before coming around the back stretch. And there is Scott Roberts. Last time by, these two are running almost identical times, but it looks like Scott Roberts might be starting to close the gap up to Robertson. Last time by, Robertson went a 56.3. Both ran identical times. Danny Robertson and Scott Roberts, two very experienced drivers, especially in the 125cc single clutch class. Definitely both know how to get it done. Former runners in the senior field back in their day, and now they're just out there having some fun at Masters. All these guys typically know that they have to be at work or have responsibilities on Mondays. They can't really go out on track, taking out people left and right, and hope they can make it to work, because as you get older, I've heard before, you don't recover as quickly as you used to. There's your leader coming out of turn 10, Donala Romalo. Now has opened up a 3.8 second gap over Danny Robertson running in P2. He makes his way to burn one more lap. He's going to have 7 to go at the line off left-hand side of the screen. There's the battle for 9th. Mario Barrios and Robert Mayer. 9th and 10th spot, making their way out of the back stretch. There's Evan Batt trying to hold off Miguel Meyer. Just in front of them is a battle between both Laurent Madrin and Scott Roberts. Laurent Madrin holding off Scotty Kopp right now as they make their way out of turn 5. Oh, Scott Kopp dropped a wheel almost, trying to see if he can get a run on Laurent Madrin. Laurent now is going to have to go on the defensive. Now we got a 3-cart battle for the 6th spot. Evan Batt, Miguel Meyer, and Christian Vermeyer. 6, 7, and 8 coming into your screen now as they head off onto the left-hand side. You're about to see them pop over on the backstretch. There's a 2-cart battle for the 4th position, Laurent Madrin and Scott Kopp. These two battling over to see who is going to take 4th place and who's going to get 5th. Scott Kopp right behind. He is running in that Merlin suit with a red cart. He is going to try to get the inside line going down the backstretch. There's a 4-cart battle for the 6th position. Down towards the start-finish line, Evan Batt somehow able to hold on. Although he does lose 1 position to Scott Kopp. Miguel Meyer also able to get around. Evan Batt falls back into the 7th spot. Christian Vollmeyer not too far behind. Here is the battle for the 4th spot. Scott Kopp able to get around Laurent Madrin, working their way over into turn number 7, heading their way towards turn 8. Here comes the battle for the 7th position. Evan Batt went a little wide, loses to Christian Vollmeyer, and now Mario Barrios is in. Oh, we got a hand up. Evan Batt looks like he has a problem. He is slowing down. He is going to pull off on the side of the road right next to a couple of the Master drivers. His race, unfortunately, is over. He was battling out for the 7th spot after starting in 4th. Hate to see the day in form in that way, but this racing is some things that happen. Oh, there was another collision out of track off camera. Mario Barrios involved in another incident. He was throwing his hands up in the air. He was not happy, and he cuts right over the track. I think he got some marble on the tires. It's not handling how he wants to as he comes around. I'm not sure what happened with that. I think it was an incident over in turn 10. Barrios comes across in 7th. It looks like it was an incident between himself, Meyer, and Christian Vollmeyer. And they now have a little bit of spacing. Barrios now is going to try to run down Miguel Meyer, who is out in front of, he's going to try to hold off Robert Mayer, who is running in the 8th spot right behind Barrios. Christian Vollmeyer not too far behind in 9th. That is a battle for inside the top 10. Another shot here. Some other Master drivers making their way around. And there's your leader, making the way over to the final parts of the track. He is going to have 4 laps to go at the line. There he is, making his way to turn 10. Donala Romalo has had a flawless race from the start. Has opened up a 4.7 second lead. We now switch back over. There is Mario Barrios. Looks like whatever marbles are on his tires have now cleaned himself off, because he is now starting to pull away from Robert Mayer. Last time by, Mario Barrios went a 57.3. Robert Mayer went a 57.5. So he's about 3/10 faster than the guy behind him. Great battling happened all over track. It is all spread out. There goes the top 3. Romalo went by. Danny Robertson running in P2. Scotty Roberts running in at the 3rd spot. There's the 518 we are on board with now. That is Danilo Romalo, your leader, out on track, hopping over the curbs. He's got 3 3/4 lap left, making his way into turn 3. Look how in control of that kart he is. Very minimalistic effort into the wheel and is doing whatever he asks him to do. It's working for him because he has now opened up almost a 4.5 second lead over second placement right there. There's P2, Danny Robertson. Kart number 509. He is trailing behind by about 4.5 seconds to Danilo Romalo. There went Scotty Roberts. Scotty Roberts in the 528. He is about 6 seconds down on the leader of Danilo Romalo and about 2 seconds down on second placement of Danny Robertson. So right now, things look to be set to finish just how they are, as we're about to burn one more lap and go down to 2 laps to go, this time by Danny Robertson, who we're looking live on now, making his way towards the start-finish line. Danilo Romalo off in the distance, and there's Scotty Roberts coming up behind him. 2 to go at the line.
Yeah, 2 more laps around here for X30 Masters, presented by Speed Concepts Racing. 2 more main events here coming up after this. The mini Swifts are aligned. We'll be having some pre-race interviews here with the X30 Pro Seniors a little bit during the mini Swift main event as well. We'll continue to go side by side. Not much more you can say about the guy on your screen, though, here as we go. Scott Roberts, he's given everything he's got. I talked to him after the pre-final. He said, well, we're figuring it out, and they were getting closer, and they've been getting closer all weekend to one guy in particular, this man, the Brazilian wonder here, Danilo Romalo. Dominant so far. He's been the fastest one every single session. Mario Barrios kept him on his toes a little bit yesterday. The same with Rob Mayer, who is down in the 8th spot. Barrios faded a little bit here in this main. He's down in 7th. White flag in the air. 1 to go. Danilo Romalo continues to lead. Caleb, you've watched it. It's just been a clinic all race long.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the clean sweep, trying to get qualifying and the feature for both yesterday and today. He's probably about 3/4 of the way there, making his way out of turn number 4 for the final time, coming into turn 5. As you said before, it kind of speaks for yourself. If you go out there and you sweep both days, pull away from the field, now he's almost sitting at a 5-second advantage over Danny Robertson. Not to say anything bad about Danny Robertson and Scotty Roberts. They are 2 very talented drivers, but that just goes to show what level Danilo Romalo is on right now.
Yeah, Danilo Romalo is on a fantastic run here this weekend. He's been at the top of the charts every session. He has had a quick look over the shoulder there. And, well, now it's time to celebrate. A win yesterday, he'll complete the weekend sweep. Danilo Romalo pitches a perfect weekend in Orlando. He wins round 2 in Masters. Danny Robertson across the line here will finish about 5 seconds back. Then Scott Roberts, then your reigning champ Scott Kopp, who picks up 4 spots over the course of the main event. Laurentiu Mardan finishes 5th. Miguel Myers 6th. Mario Barrios 7th. Rob Mayer 8th. Christian Vomir in 9th. Gordon Cameron rounds the top 10. Then it's Greg Leahy up 10 spots on the back of the grid to 11th. Jeff Rice, Scott Carapalati, the final driver on the lead lap. We're going to go to commercial break here. When we do come back, racing action continues here live from Orlando. 2 more main events still coming up. Your mini Swift class presented by DNJ Intermodal Services had a 4-way battle for the lead in the win yesterday. They're geared up again, and of course our headline division, X30 Pro Senior. Can anyone dethrone Ryan Norbert? We saw some chinks in the armor there in the pre-final. And we've got some fast guys lining up around him here. We'll talk to them all before we go green. Stick with us. Kart Chasers coverage of the U.S. Pro Kart Series rolls on.
As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and most of all, win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked national-level team to back it up, we'll help to get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching to the parts you need to get you back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer. Are you looking to up your web presence and digital footprint? Here at Novice Web, we help businesses elevate their value through custom software development, responsive website design, e-commerce, and AL/ML services. Our customer-focused engineers have over 10 years of experience. Let Novice Web design your first online impression. Overdrive Motorsports is more than just another full-service kart shop. Beyond our excellent service and more than 20 years of experience, we also offer a number of aftermarket parts and upgrades, such as our own proprietary pedal kit and the only aftermarket rock shifter mount in North America. Check us out online at odkarts.com.
I'm David Serra, 18-time Australian karting champion, and we're launching Kart Class. Kart Class is an advanced digital training program that suits a driver who's just starting out in the sport, all the way to the driver looking to win a national championship. In this program, you're going to be learning about how to find the ideal racing line and what an apex is. Braking and throttle markers, wet weather racing lines, and how to overtake other competitors. We target how to brake in the wet weather, and we look on the mental side of kart racing as well with our mental skills coach. At the completion of this program, you'll be lighting up purple sectors in qualifying, know when to defend on the opening laps, and how to pressure your opposition into mistakes. We teach you the tools to be resilient and how to get in the right frame of mind before a race. We look to complete the whole package by getting a strong mindset, a driving style to suit all conditions, strategizing your race, and getting the last 1% from your team. We'll teach you how to win the final lap of a race, driving the wet like Max Verstappen, and creating the perfect bubble for yourself to mentally be in the zone. To find out more, click the link below.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex Rock engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. If you're looking for top-grade equipment, look no further than Rev Performance Materials engine mounts, sprockets, and arcade chains. Available online now at revperformancematerials.com and through a dealer near you. The highest quality material built to the highest quality standards. Rev Performance Materials. Welcome back here to Orlando Kart Center for Kart Chasers coverage of opening weekend of the United States Pro Kart Series. My name's Xander Clements alongside Caleb Smock. We've had action, we've had controversy, calamity, and then kind of an anticlimactic main event there in the X30 Master class, but everything else has been stellar.
Yeah, it's kind of spin the wheel and see what you get. Wheel of karting as it goes. About to get underway here with your Mini Swift, who are now out on track, and after that, we go live for our X30 Senior event. Some big names up in here. Weldon and Harvick, two names that are going to be ones to watch along with Weinberg. I think he's starting somewhere towards the mid-pack. As we're going to wait for these kiddos to go one time around before they take the green flag. This race is kind of like the Micro Swift. A lot of good racing here from these young drivers. A lot of maturity shown at such a young age. We are waiting now to get them all lined up. You can see the back markers now making their way out of the final couple of corners. Leaders now making their way onto the back stretch before they get them bunched up. Usually these kids go down to about a beyond walking pace a little earlier than I think what the officials would want. I think they would rather be too slow than too fast, though, when it comes to making their pace laps around here.
So the DNJ Intermodal Services Mini Swift class begins to form up, and we've got to get through our starting lineup here as soon as we can. So we've got our X30 Pro lineup. We're going to take a look at quickly at what the lineup looks like for the Mini Swift main event. Beginning with Salvador De La Vecchia. He starts on the front row alongside Oliver Weldon. Row 2, Sarah Bradley and Tyler Roberts. Row 3, Gabriel Balog and Kai Johnson. Row 4 will be Carson Weinberg and Gian Matteo Russo. Then it'll be Asher Ockstein and Davin Roberts. Hassan Dramilev rolls to the inside of Ethan Tobo. That is Bobby Klein and Alan Bonilla Espinoza. Keelan Harvick rolls off pretty deep in the field here after everything settled in the pre-finals. He's to the inside of Michael McCauley. Then it's Devin Waltz, Jackson Wolney, Tristan Murphy, Cade Yeager, Tyrone Kemper Jr., Max Christie, Braden Serves, Gage Korn, Roman McCurdy, Ty Fisher, Landon Boer, and more. 40 drivers deep. Took 2 pre-finals, 1 LCQ after qualifying to set the grid, but we're ready to go. Main event racing. Mini Swift is underway down to turn 1.
Keep an eye on that back part of the field. Usually they go 3 or 4 wide. Oh, one's already turned around on the entry of turn 1. Hopefully get them back underway. Rest of the field seems to be relatively chill compared to what we've seen before.
Yeah, it looks like they somehow kind of made it through turn 3. Little more contact. Couple drivers getting shuffled wide in turn 5. But only one driver turned, only one casualty as they all make it out of turn number 6. Side by side here, look at this pack. Race Beckman side by side with Tyrone Kemper Jr. They'll get down to single file as it naturally shuffles them down into turns 8 and 9. Let's pick up our leader here down the back straightaway, Salvador de la Vecchia. Great jump here to start. We've got, I believe, right behind him off the gun, Tyler Roberts with a great jump as well. I'll confirm it's the 199 indeed. Tyler Roberts aboard the Paralyn to second. Great start. Back to third as we'll watch them come out of the final corner. Sarah Bradley, then Carson Weinberg. Here they come down the front straightaway, all spaced out for the top 5. Back to Kai Johnson. Then it's a tight pack group here in 6th with Oliver Weldon started on the outside of the front row, and the Lando Norris Kart driver ends the first lap nearly 3 seconds back from race leader Salvador.
Yeah, De La Vecchia has had a good start so far, opening up a huge lead, about a little over half a second over Tyler Roberts starting in P2. Sarah Bradley has had a good day so far, running in P3 currently. As we look now, there's Sarah Bradley, and I believe that is Carson Weinberg, able to get around to the pass in turn 7. That's a little bit of a risky move, able to pass on the inside, but good driving on both parts, not just Weinberg, but also on Sarah Bradley's part, getting off the marble, somehow able to save it, and also staying competitive. Down to turn number 10. There's De La Vecchia making his way on the backstretch. Ty Roberts not too far behind. And then we have the battle between Sarah Bradley and Carson Weinberg. Weinberg finds himself one position up into the fourth spot. Looks like Kai Johnson also able to get around Sarah Bradley. Finds himself in P number 4. This time across the line, lap number 2 has been burned. It's going to be 14 more laps to go as they head down into turn number 1.
14 to go, 2 down here. Salvador de la Vecchia in the DNJ Intermodal Services Mini-Swift class with a 6/10 lead. As of last time, Carson Weinberg, there's your line all the way through. It is still loosely attached all the way down the field, and some defending, some passing. And then it finally spreads out there all the way back by Max Weiland, I think. He's down in 27th. So a single train going all the way through. There's Sarah Bradley's group. She leads over what looks to be Oliver Weldon and maybe Asher Rockstein, as Tyler Roberts is trying to close the gap. He's getting a little bit closer each time. Each corner it adds up. Great exit out of turn number 10 that time. He cut the gap in half, Caleb.
He definitely has, and also someone else to look out for, Carson Weinberg, able to get around, had a very good start, finds himself 4 positions higher than where he was previously, down by about a second onto Tyler Roberts. But if the two catch back up, oh, we got 2 karts together,
Tyrone
2 hands up in the air.
Junior and Gage Korn.
That's unfortunate. Oh, Gage Korn, man, hasn't had the best weekend, and that's really not how he wants to end it. We're going to switch back up, though. There's a battle for the lead. Inside goes Ty Roberts on De La Vecchia, makes it out on front, and here in the distance is Carson Weinberg. He went purple last lap, seen the battle happening out in front, is trying to get in on some of the action, and he may pull with him Kai Johnson off in the distance of the 4th spot. If there's a 3-pack battle for the lead, we may see a 4-kart here soon with Kai Johnson.
Yeah, Kai Johnson digging in deep here. He's looking to reverse some bad luck that's happened to him here to start what could be his final mini season. Still one of the younger drivers in the field, but he's made a habit of moving up early, so I don't know how much longer we'll get Kai in a 60cc power plant. Ahead of him, Carson Weinberg. That's a kid who probably should have already broken through the barrier to get that first major main event win here this year, but unfortunately, the pace just seems to kind of fade in the final 5 or 10 laps for him. We go back to SCUSA Winter Series at Homestead. Digging, closing in, fades away, finishes second. Again, here he is, super strong in the first half, working lap number 5 now, but with 12 laps to go, he's got to hope that pace will hold all the way to the end. The CRG driver for Speed Concepts Racing Fastest on the racetrack last time by about 2-3 tenths.
Well, I think part of the reasons, too, why we haven't seen him get the win like we were talking about is he is the only driver right now on a CRG chassis in this field, as we were talking about earlier this entire weekend. He doesn't have any teammates to bounce data off of. Hey, how's this chassis feeling? They got to learn a whole new concept. Right now, he's making it work for him. He's had a fairly good season so far as he finds himself in the third spot, still trying to chase down Della Vecchia, and Ty Roberts currently out in front.
Roberts will lead them out of 10. Now, at least Weinberg in the tow is going to get there. Kai Johnson, on the other hand, only as fast as the leaders, not faster. And with De La Vecchia just pushing away on Tyler Roberts, although that time got into him a little bit too hard, kind of knocked him wide. He'll let him back in line. Very respectful there from Salva. And they'll stay nose to tail, no change through one.
Out of turn number 2, the camera's going to flip back over. There it is, 3 karts now in contingency. Ty Roberts, Della Vecchia, Carson Weinberg now joins the party. Weinberg down by about a half a kart length on Della Vecchia, running in P2. Della Vecchia looks back. Here comes Weinberg. Weinberg sends up on the inside, and he is going to slip back into place as he has moved up one more position. Della Vecchia falls back into P3, and those two drivers now got to settle down and try to chase down Tyler Roberts, that is, running out in front, because those three do have a large gap over the field from Carson Weinberg to Kai Johnson. Roughly 1.8 seconds is the difference.
And that was last time by. Now with the pass, it may get a little bit smaller. Tyler Roberts leads them out of 10. Out of the tightest hairpin on the North American Pro Circuit. Here comes Carson Weinberg looking to the inside with some momentum. He'll get by. Nicely done. Carson Weinberg from Georgia leads here to put 6 laps in the books. 10 laps to go as they head down the front straightaway.
Along with him, he did bring Salvador Della Vecchia up into the second spot, and that is going to push Ty Roberts back into third. Roberts now has got a little deficit. He's got to make up. Not a huge one, just about a kart length or so as they make their way over into turn 4. And again, equal spacing. These three probably going to start going back and forth. Keep an eye on Kai Johnson in the 4th position. He may find himself quickly in a contingency to be in a catbird seat.
Yeah, just turned 9 years old in December. Kai Johnson still with plenty of years of eligibility, and he's already been at the front of the field here for quite some time in the mini Swift class. I'm moving up early, moved up early out of micro, was competitive there. And now, again, P4, last time by, slower than the leaders, getting reeled in a little bit by Oliver Weldon. He's just kind of in no man's land. No drafting partner, not really able to work with anybody back in the 4th spot. The top 3 have pulled further and further away. It's a 2.4 second gap back to Johnson, and it's going to get even bigger here as Johnson fades to the front bumper of Oliver Weldon, who is trying to make a comeback charge. Last time by was not too far off the leaders. Here with 7 laps complete, let's see what the laps look like across the line. Weldon, half a tenth better than race leader Carson Weinberg.
Tyler Roberts also went purple last lap. He went a 101.3 compared to the 101.4 of the car in front of Della Vecchia. He is now trying to see if he can't maybe stir up this mid-pack. Weinberg continues to lead. Della Vecchia running in the 2nd spot. 3 karts. They seem to settle down. I thought they were going to continue to go back and forth by now, but they have kind of set it on cruise control. Still got 9 more laps to go, 8 to go next time by. Plenty of time for racing.
Yeah, and you'll see that from time to time, and that's just a matter of the draft. You know, Tyler Roberts, probably about the same speed as Salvador Della Vecchia and Carson Weinberg, but he rips out a lap a tenth of a second quicker, starting the lap a little further back and finishing the straightaway on the front stretch a little closer thanks to the toe. They're all about evenly matched. Della Vecchia looks pretty strong. Weinberg obviously is strong, and he ran them down, but they're right on his bumper. So those lap times for the leaders, you really want to judge always off the leading car. When you look back to 2nd or 3rd, those lap times will fluctuate. Last lap, again, Roberts was quicker. This lap, a little bit quicker, closing back up, but it's just going to kind of go up and down as the time goes. Here's Weinberg taking them through turn 5 again. We go back again down the order. Now Oliver Weldon was able to catch, was able to get by Kai Johnson. He's faded to 7th. So Weldon's group has Asher Augstein, Gian Matteo Russo, and Kai Johnson now in the group that is behind this top 3, back 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. They're linked up. Keelan Harvick kind of running on his own. He's up 7 spots to 8th, digging through the field, but he's 6 seconds back from the leaders at the moment with a long way to go to try and get there. Gabriel Balog still 9th, Jackson Wolney rounding the top 10. Here's a view, again, a wide shot there of the leaders. Let's see them come in to the infield section. And around we go here, 7 to go, 9 complete of the 16-lap final for Mini Swift.
We're coming down to some closing laps here. Weinberg leading him down across the line. Della Vecchia running in P2. Ty Roberts in the 3rd spot. Roberts still the fastest car out on track. overall compared to the two drivers that are out in front of him. I don't think he's close enough to make a move. No one's defending yet. Usually when we get down to about 2 to 3 to go is we're going to see Weinberg starting to take the inside line. There's that second pack like we were talking about before, being led by Oliver Weldon and Asher Okostine. Okostine not too far back from Weldon, getting a little bit of help from Germano Russo, who is also right there in the mix. So good battling happening all over track. You got a 3-pack battle for the lead, a 3-pack battle for the 4 spot. I don't think we're going to see these two groups come together, but we've said before, we never really know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, like you said, I don't know if we'll see them come together. 3.5 seconds here back to this group. Weldon, Asher Ockstein there behind him, and then there's your leaders just up the road here. We've got a great wide angle as Weldon leads the pack with Ockstein and then Gian Matteo Russo, a couple Super Tune USA Tony Karts in 5th and 6th. Here's your leaders across the line. You can see they are hooked up, nose to tail, pushing as hard as they can to try and keep the distance. Weldon that time went purple. I don't know, you're right. Things may happen. Caleb, 2/10 better than the leaders that time, and Weldon's doing it without any dancing partner behind him. I mean, he's just driving that thing with a 2-car length cushion.
3-second gap and 6 laps to go. I'm not sure. I would like to see a 6-car battle for the lead, but unless Weinberg, Delavecchia, and Roberts decide to start going tooth to nail and try to battle back and forth for the lead, which we haven't seen yet, but who knows, maybe when they get to 5 to go, it's going to be all bets are off. Weldon is putting on a good show. Okostine not too far behind the 5th spot. Like you said before, Weldon's doing it on his own. He's starting to put a little bit of a pull away on both Osher and Germano Russo, who is running in the 5th and 6th spot. There's your leaders now. Carson Weinberg and that CRG out in front over Salvador Delavecchia and the Parolin as they make their way out of turn 2, making their way down the front straightaway one more time. 5 laps to go. And let's see if Delavecchia decides to make a move in turn 1. Thought about it for a second, decides to back off. Tyler Roberts trailing by about a half a car length. Fastest card on track, or Oliver Weldon's the fastest card on track, I should say. Tyler Roberts is the fastest one out of the 3, but right now, I think he's just biding his time.
Yeah, Weldon's cut the gap down a little bit. Not as much that time by. He's needing a little more shuffling to get there, but he's definitely pretty quick. Carson Weinberg with 4.5 laps away from what could be a first career mini national victory. Salvador Delavecchia looking to go back to the top step here, sweep the weekend. Tyler Roberts as well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, trying to get a first career victory. Down the backstretch, 1, 2, 3, still single file, not one to pull out of line yet. And you can see off this wide view just at the top of the screen, that's the group in 4th, trying to close up to the 3 here in Mini Swift, through the infield chicane and out. 4 to go. There's your top 3. Here comes the next pack as well. Weldon's group there behind them. As down the front stretch goes your leaders. 4 more laps around Orlando. At this point, Caleb, we've seen guys kind of both win and lose in every spot in this pack, especially if you just watch the KA race. I don't know exactly if there's a position you want to be in, whether it's 1st, 2nd, or 3rd when it comes to the white flag.
Well, I don't think you want to be in Salvador's spot because he looked to the outside, almost got past. I'm not quite sure either. I think ideally if there was a place in between the 3rd placement of Roberts and a spot in between Oliver Weldon, maybe about a 2nd half behind, I'd want to be in there. These 3 have stayed fairly chill for the past 5 or 6 laps, so I have a feeling when they get to 2 to go, it may be all bets are off, high lows, over unders, but we're going to stay tuned and hopefully find out soon. Down into the turn 10 hairpin. No one's trying to pass yet. I'm shocked no one's trying to stick their nose out and see if they can get by.
Well, again, a lot of drivers, especially on the younger side, they're either 1 or 2 ways. Either they don't know and don't have a great feel for the race yet for how long it is, or they're waiting for a signal from a parent or mechanic or driver coach on the sidelines to go. And so if they're just going off of the flags, they only get a marker at the halfway mark, and they get a signal at 2 laps to go. The signal 2 laps to go, it's already usually too late. The leader's going to see that. He'll start blocking. So you kind of got to count laps in your head a little bit. They have a lap counter on the Micron data gauge, usually within about a couple laps of the actual lap count that they're on. As we see a pass for 5th here, that's going to be, I believe, Russo going back by an Asher Rockstein for P5. Trade of positions for the Tony Karts. Weldon was quick as 3/10 by 3/10 that time, still 2.5 back. But the other rule of thumb that I've typically heard and at least lived by and seen is when it's only 2 drivers in the lead pack, it's not the worst thing in the world to be second. But when there's more than 2, you always want to be the leader, because if you block, then the guy in second, he can't open up to try and cross you over. He's got to worry about 3rd, sending it down the inside, so he has to block. And if he does open up in 3rd, sends it down the inside, you get a car length or 2 gap. So Carson Weinberg, I think, the best position to win this main event, but you never really know. Anything can happen. We've seen a ton of crossovers, and there's the blocking here already as the 2-to-go signal comes. Just like I said, those double flags come up, and the leader goes down to the bottom.
Yeah, Weinberg went all the way down to the inside line. Della Vecchia followed. We're going to see it again. And there is the third placeman, Tyler Roberts, went to the outside line, and he can't really do anything with that. You get the better run out of the corner, but it's very frustrating when you see the two guys are slower, but they're on the racing line. He can't plow into the back of them because of the pushback. We're about to see it here. Tyler Roberts goes high. The two take the inside line. Roberts gets a good run, and then you go into the chicane where you have no room to get around. And I think we're going to see this all the last 2 laps. This may be music to the ears of Oliver Weldon. Right now, he is sitting at a 2.2-second gap, so he has closed it down. I'm curious to see what's going to be by this time by.
Out of turn 10, Weinberg, decent exit. Della Vecchia is there. Look at that. It's a 6-car grouping coming into the final chicane. Penultimate time, white flag coming. Weldon able to hit his marks here. He's digging. He wants them to fight. Keep on low lining. Oliver might get there. Down the front stretch, Weinberg to the bottom, looking for his first national win. White flag, Caleb.
He takes it all the way down to the inside line. Here comes Della Vecchia. He is going to do the crossover. He is going to be up on point, and Weinberg's going to lose 2 spots. There's Oliver Weldon. He is going to have a look to the inside. Weinberg can't block. Weldon goes down, and it looks like Weinberg's going to lose 2 spots to, I believe, Germano Russo, who is up 1 more position. So now we have an intense 5-car battle for the lead, and it's going to be Della Vecchia out in front over Roberts.
Yeah, Gianmatteo Russo looked to get by, couldn't do it. Here they are, single file. Tyler Roberts has to be perfect. Weldon knows it as well. Roberts, what a dive on Della Vecchia. They're going to cross over side by side for the lead down the back straightaway on the final time.
Oh, contact with Weldon.
That was Weinberg and Weldon side by side. Here they go into the final turn. They're 4 wide for third, and meanwhile the battle for the lead. Della Vecchia trying to go back to back. Roberts looking for national win number 1. Final turn. Della Vecchia blocks. Does it nice. Roberts can't get there. Salvador Della Vecchia hand in the air already, and the 106 wins on Sunday.
Oh, did he though?
Tyler
Roberts,
he
didn't.
He got him. Celebrated a little bit too early. What a slingshot move. Tyler Roberts, 7 thousandths of a second, pulls it off at the line. I don't think anyone thought he would get there, but what an exit. Roberts, your winner.
I mean, I feel for Della Vecchia. I thought he had a 1-2, and he started celebrating as soon as it came out of the dog leg, and Roberts popped out last second to get around him. Oliver Weldon drove back from a 2.5-second deficit to finish in third. Asher Okastein was able to get around Germano Russo to finish in 4th, and Germano Russo finishes in the 5th
Asher
position.
Okastein there, P4, Gianmatteo Russo, P5. Carson Weinberg, 6th at the drop of the checkered here. He was banging wheels with Oliver Weldon. Tyler Roberts, first-time U.S. Pro Kart Series national level winner, and he does it in spectacular fashion. Salvador Della Vecchia thought he had it locked up, thought he had it all good, was celebrating coming with 1 turn to go, and again a slingshot move straight out of Talladega Nights for Tyler Roberts to score the first career victory for the 199. The closest finish we've seen yet here in Orlando. Weinberg again 6th, Johnson 7th, Harvick 8th, Gabriel Balog 9th, Ethan Tovo rounds your top 10. Big mover, Lucas Palacio up 21 spots after having to go through the last chance qualifier to 16th. Heck of a drive forward here. And now it's only time left. The only time left is for the big boys and girls. X30 Pro is up next here live from Orlando Kart Center. The final main event of opening weekend is headed your way. Stay tuned here on Kart Chaser.
Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParalleLUSA.com.
talked to a number of our X30 Pro Senior drivers throughout the weekend here. We talked also to rookie hotshot Cameron Weinberg, older brother of Carson here, who's helping bring the CRG brand back to life with Speed Concepts Racing back on Thursday. Before we get through to our starting lineup for X30 Pro Senior, let's see what Jenna was able to get here from this rookie.
I'm here with Cameron Weinberg, who's racing for Speed Concepts Racing in our X30 Senior class. How is the track today?
It's good. It's got quite a bit of rubber for the first day.
Yeah.
We're pretty fast right now, consistent. I think we're probably top 3, top 5.
Yeah.
Everything's going pretty good so far.
Yeah, you've had a really successful rookie season thus far. What are you hoping for this weekend?
Probably a win or maybe a podium, but definitely going for the win.
Yeah, you've got a lot of people rooting for you in the bracket that we're doing. How are you feeling? You got a lot of pressure on you?
Not really, no.
Not really. Feeling great. Thank you so much, Cameron. We appreciate it.
Welcome back here to Orlando Kart Center. Myself and Caleb Smock in the booth, and we've just been treated to some great action all the way through. I mean, there's everything on the bingo board has to be checked off here at least 3 times over. I mean, you have a driver celebrating a little bit too early, a photo finish, multiple photo finishes, everything but a fist fight, really. I mean, we've had some
I was just
more
about
words.
to say that the fist fight is going to be on the bottom right-hand corner. We might see that, though.
You know, it's not over. You can't count it out. These guys have been going at it. The X30 Pro Seniors, of course, getting set to go green. Let's take you through the starting lineup while they get set to go here, and also, again, go over everything else we've got. First of all, let's bring up the format, the race format of how we got here to start our X30 Pro main event here today. Again, they started with qualifying on Friday, set the starting grids. Then they divided the class in half. To qualify first, third, fifth, etc., you go to pre-final A. Qualify second, fourth, or sixth, you go to pre-final B. The top 18 drivers in each pre-final race then automatically transfer into the main event for the first 36 spots, making up the first 18 rows. The bottom half of each pre-final then combined, and earlier today we ran a last chance qualifier race where the top 4 made it in with an impressive drive from Victor Franzoni to get in. He starts 40th, the final spot, the final ticket to the big dance. Victor Franzoni, a former open wheel ace, and one of the most well-respected coaches on the road to Indy, getting back behind the wheel of a go-kart the last time 1 year ago here in March in Ocala, Florida. Let's take you through the starting lineup here, starting back with Victor on row number 20. To the inside, it'll be the number 310 of Jack Chimura. Row number 19, Timothy Carroll and Tyler Wettengel. Adrian Cruz rolls off then in the next row on row 18. To his inside, the 344 of Dante Yu. Moving up the order here to row 17, Frankie Mossman and Santiago Fernandez. Row 16, Tyler McIntyre and Josh Campbell. We move on to the top 30 here. Miami International Final Champion from the United Kingdom, Oliver Hodgson, and the J3 Competition Comp Kart roll off to the outside of AJ Myers in the number 305 Magic Kart. Then row number 14 finds Diego Ramos and Jacob Hoover. Row 13, Justin Ataconis and Ryan Raffa. Row 12, Dalton Haynes and Gavin Bailiff. Then it'll be Guillermo Quintero and Paulie Massimino, who had a bad wreck in his heat race along with Myers and one more. To the edge of the top 20, it's Ryan Vincent, Aiden Fox, Axel Cabrera, Nolan Bauer, Cameron Weinberg, Wes Duchek, Nate Cicero, Zach Hollingshead, Jeremy Fletcher, Zach Clayman DeMello, and then your top 10, Hayden Jones and Nolan Allison, Donovan Bonilla, Paul Bocuse, Jack Jeffers, Alessandro DiTullio, Aaron Benoit, and Marian Kremers, and your front row, Thomas Neveau, Ryan Norberg. We'll take them around one more time here and get to go through this main event. Caleb, watched it all week. You've seen every session here alongside me since we went green with pre-final A on Saturday. Who do you got? How is this race going to go for the viewers?
All right, I got 2 picks here. I got my underdog and I got my main dog. All right, my main dog, I'm going to put it on Thomas Neveau.
Okay.
I think he's going to be it. My underdog, now hear me out here. I know he's kind of starting back. I think he's starting back in 10th position. Hayden Jones, a silent assassin. I feel like they figured some stuff out. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of incident towards the front. We heard some talk and smack between the chief driving coach, Ryan Norberg, under the RPG tent, along with Aaron Benoit, and I'm thinking of Paul Bocuse is going to get up there and stir the pot. If that pot gets stirred, I feel like there's going to be a lot of action towards the front. I feel like this one's going to be a lot different than yesterday.
You know, I will say I do think everyone's caught up a little bit here. You get to the end of the weekend, the track gets really greasy. The rubber's been laid down. Everyone's had 3 full days, or almost 4 full days of on-track action, plus those who may have tested last weekend and have been here before to get dialed in, to get their setups good to go, to get their driving on par. I mean, you can see the views around this place are unreal. The entire spectator line on the outside of the racetrack lined. Every pagoda full. Everyone's ready to watch the superstars here in the U.S. Pro Kart Series put on a show. The Sunday main event. Ryan Norberg and Thomas Neveau have got the field into the tram lines. Here comes the rest of the line into the front stretch. For the final time this weekend, boys and girls, let's go racing here in Orlando Kart Center, X30 Pro main event style.
Green flag is out down at turn 1. Let's see if there's any major incidents to speak of. A couple guys getting up on the curbs, trying to get better rotation. Norberg out in front. Neveau goes a second.
What around. Head into the wall.
Only TB Kart in the field, and he ends up backwards, although it's far from over. There's still plenty of time for racing, 20 laps, and we're about a quarter of the way through. They're still bunched up, piled up, coming around. A little bit of contact still. And there is, I believe that is
that was Oliver Hodgson and Ryan Raffa to the outside. Haynes down on the bottom, still side by side as we've got 2 together here near the back. Timothy Carroll has gotten on top of Adrian Cruz, and they're going to get unstuck out of turn number 6. Meanwhile, let's go back up to the lead and catch up with what we've missed so far. A fantastic start for Aaron Benoit. Thomas Neveau at a second. Norberg's back to P3. Marian Kremers P4. Jack Jeffers up into the top 5. Then it's DeTulio. Paul Bocuse in 7th. And what a lead here to start for another Orlando, Florida-based driver, Aaron Benoit here. Didn't grow up in Florida, moved here. He's an adopted resident. Spent a lot of time racing here at Orlando Kart Center, the home of his race team, one of the smaller and growing teams you race as Marian Kremers gets by Norberg for 3rd. And he'll defend into turn number 6. Norberg, we saw yesterday, was not fast out of the gate, but it's a 20-lap main event. It's a long one. If you're too quick early, you'll fall off, and that's where Norberg hasn't only been able to get away with the pole position starting spot, that he's been able to kind of go for a very long-run setup, let the kart come to him, and as the field battles early on, they don't really get into him. This time, Aaron Benoit caught everybody off guard and finds himself leading here from 4th on the grid. He has led both laps so far, headed through turn 12 and 13.
Yeah, Aaron Benoit does what Ryan Norberg usually did, like you alluded to. He usually gets out in front, but now Norberg's in the dogfight. I say that, but he's made his way up to the field for a couple positions. He is struggling right behind a couple of drivers now, as they are now making their way over into turns 1 and 2. Out in front is still Aaron Benoit and Thomas Neveau. Also, Mario Kremers up in the top 3. And we're bringing in another specialist tonight.
Well, Braden Eves here. Braden joined us for the X30 Pro main event yesterday. He's joining us here again today. Braden, thanks again for making it up.
Yeah, thanks. Looks like there was actually just a move there for P3 by Ryan Norberg taking over 3rd over Marian Kremers.
Yeah, he gave Kremers the benefit of the doubt for about a lap to try and, we got one on the wall. I think that's over. I just panned off from it. Over in turn number 10. Looks to be one of the RPG Cosmics. I'm going to guess that was Donovan Bonilla, but I don't know for sure, as Paul Bocuse is still going, and I think maybe if not Bonilla, it might have been Nolan Allison. Let's see them come through the infield here once again. Norberg's pulled away. Believe potentially Nolan Allison was the driver involved over in turn 6's wreck. What are the lap times looking like here? Lap 3. Benoit 55.7, about a 10th quicker for Neveau, about 5/10ths quicker for Ryan Norberg, even with the pass on Marian Kremers. Fastest on the racetrack's Alessandro DeTulio, who's having to muscle his way by Jack Jeffers. He does so into turn number 5. Braden, you were a little bit late. Norberg got caught sleeping on the start, then shuffled back, and Benoit from P4 to P1. Other than that, it's starting to get taken. We got 2 more collected. Zach Hollingshead and Tyler McIntyre in the wall. And Hollingshead, I think he's about deflated. He's had enough. Got wrecked on the start and gets wrecked again. So they come together and get back going here out of turn 4. I don't think you'll see either one continue. Let's go back up front here as they try to get out of the way. DeTulio ahead of Jeffers, pulling away. Caleb through the infield was going to go to you, Braden. Here we are. Good look at the leaders. Norberg catching, Neveau catching a little bit. At this point, if you're Thomas Neveau, what are you thinking? Because you've probably taken at least one look back.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's pretty optimistic here. I think the guys that we will see at the front are a little bit further back here. I think there's going to be a lot of people coming together in the next couple of laps. Obviously, Aaron Benoit is he's going to be nervous here. He's getting run down quite quickly by Ryan Norberg, so I think he'll be nervous there.
Yeah, again, this is where it comes back. Norberg, he's not a guy who's overly aggressive. He's not a guy who's necessarily, you think, that's just got amazing outright speed, but he's so tactical and he takes care of his equipment really well. And now already onto Benoit's bumper, looking inside, turn 10. New leader, Ryan Norberg, back to the point over Aaron Benoit and Thomas Neveau. Alessandro Di Tullio trying to close in. Marian Kremers the same. Norberg blocks through 13, and he'll get a nice exit here. Can Benoit answer back, Caleb? They're putting 5 laps in the books, 15 to go.
If you're Aaron Benoit and you saw how quickly Ryan Norberg was able to close up onto you, I'm surprised he didn't try to make a quick jab right back at him, because you can't let him run away. Although he is defending down the inside, that's going to bunch the pack up. Benoit right there on the back bumper, and here comes Thomas Neveau. Not too far behind in the third spot, but now, because of what we're seeing out in front, you're now seeing Marian Kremers and Alessandro Di Tullio, who has been fast all race long, slowly starting to make up their way towards the front.
Yeah, Benoit signaled to Neveau to try and work together. We saw it in one of the pre-finals, specifically the one Norberg was in, where Norberg, Marian Kremers, and Alessandro Di Tullio were about to fight for third. Quickly all kind of had some sign language to each other and said, you know what, we'll work back together. Braden, you and I have watched a lot of races together, and we're constantly talking about, man, there's some smart driving and some not so smart driving. And Senior, you very rarely see guys throw the race away fighting for third.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm in Benoit's position right now, I'm sending it down the inside immediately. I mean, I think it's dangerous to try and let him get away from the field, especially we saw how fast he was yesterday. Yeah, I mean, Norberg's definitely defending a little bit, but if I was Benoit, I would definitely be trying to make a move.
Yeah, right now everyone's playing really nice with a guy who arguably has the best pace out there. Di Tullio has that pace kind of on par with Norberg. He was a 10th faster last time by. If he can get there, he might be able to run him down. The Parolin driver looking for third. I think he might have got it that time on Thomas Neveau into turn number 9. We'll pick him up here. Did he get by? He did not, so he stays behind the Kart Republic. But like you said, Braden, I mean, that's something where you see, Aaron Benoit, he's only had a couple seasons of experience. Thomas Neveu's been pretty nice. All these guys have been playing really nice. It's not anything like some of the X30 Senior fields of old of the last couple of years where they know someone's fast and they're going to shuffle them back instantly.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard at a track like this. I mean, there's so many corners, and everyone is so close. You'll see people spread apart, and nobody can really make any headway. But I mean, it looks like Benoit is hanging in there quite well right now.
Yeah, all things considered, Aaron Benoit only losing half a tenth last time by. Here's the next group there, Hayden Jones's group, as we just saw out of frame. Di Tullio get by Thomas Neveau, I believe. So looking further back down the order, but up front, yeah, Di Tullio, he's gotten by him. So Di Tullio to third. That's the guy who was the closest to Norberg all weekend so far. I mean, he won the opposite pre-final, was arguably faster than him in the pre-final today, and then yesterday he was second fiddle to him. Benoit, like you said, he's hanging in tough. He's close at that 2-car length bubble back there. But if Di Tullio can run up to him, that's a guy I think that can really have a shot. If that pace can hold for the Parolin, 8 laps complete, 12 to go, Caleb.
Yeah, you really can't let Norberg run away, just like what Eves was saying. If it was him, he probably would have taken the shot. I understand why he would have done that, because it is very dangerous to let Norberg run away with it. We know that he is notorious for getting to the front and then just gapping the field, then taking it kind of easy. Right now, not a whole lot of distance between himself and Benoit. Benoit went purple last lap, 54.718. However, I did see Ryan Norberg was defending a couple of corners on the inside. I don't think he's pushing it 100% yet. I still think that he thinks that Benoit still has a chance to come up to him.
Well, he's definitely wanting to close it off. Again, he's thinking exactly what you're thinking, Braden. He doesn't want Benoit to throw a dive bomb. And turn 5's been the only corner all weekend, as we see Marian Kremers go by on Thomas Neveau, who also, Kremers, that time by, could have some pace to get up to the top 3. Norberg's thinking again on that mentality you're talking about, Braden, knowing that he's got the fastest piece, that he wants to make sure that he doesn't get shuffled back, because as soon as you get the crud on the tires, the marbles, I mean, you could lose a lap or 2 laps with half a second off, and then you're playing from the back. Like you said, hard to make headway. You could lose a second if you get shuffled to the outside and just pass. Even in one corner, you get dirt on your tires.
Yeah, that's been something really interesting we've seen this weekend, especially with the qualifying format, with 2 qualifyings back-to-back, and obviously that happy hour session, like roughly 900 sets of tires going down, and ever since that day, there's just been so many marbles on the track, and it's making it really tough for people to defend or even try to take a deep pass, because they just get marbles on the tires and they slide past the apex.
Well, let's see if a pass can be made here soon for second. Di Tullio that time by was a 1/10 of a second faster than Ryan Norberg, 1/10 and a half quicker than Benoit, and I think Benoit made a mistake in this lap because he's lost quite a bit of time. So Alessandro Di Tullio, who's been putting the field on his back to try and challenge that guy, the national number 1, across the line, halfway signal given. Norberg, not the fastest. DeTulio a little bit quicker. It's a game of inches, and he's had to come from much further back. He's driving the wheels off it right now. The Parolin P3, quickest driver on the racetrack. Kremers next best there in fourth. And again, a bobble from Aaron Benoit. He's starting to lose some ground majorly here to the race leader, Ryan Norberg, as they head to the sweeper, Caleb.
Yeah, I know DeTulio is throwing down faster laps. The problem is that when he catches up to Benoit, he's got to get around him. Benoit's going to have to defend. That's going to allow Norberg to pull away even more. We're at 10 laps to go. Probably about the 5 or 6 is when Sandro DeTulio, and I think, is going to be able to get around Benoit. That's only 5 laps to run down. Whatever more gap Norberg's been able to put down on him. So if he's going to get around him, he's got to do it quick, or he has to help out and give a little push to Benoit down the only straightaway that we have and hope that they can both catch back up to him. But Marian Kremers, it visually looks like he's closing back up to these two as they start to battle out.
Yeah, here they come down the start-finish line. Norberg 54.6. 54.8 for DeTulio, who slows down in the wake of Aaron Benoit. That's been a new story over developing over the last few seasons, as the bodywork and aero evolution gives a touch of aero wash as DeTulio gets by Benoit there in turn 5, defends into 6, gets out of it. I don't know if Benoit really would have fought him too far back, but DeTulio didn't want to let him, and Benoit says, nobody, go forward. I know you've been coming. Try and go get him. And now it's all on the kid, the 309 sophomore senior driver, trying to hunt down the 5-time Pro National champion who is dominating the weekend here. Alessandro DeTulio out of turn number 10. P2, Benoit P3, Kremers P4. Into the chicane. I mean, you're watching their driving, Braden. I mean, 2 different styles for sure between DeTulio and Norberg, 2 different lines. Can you describe to the viewers a little bit kind of some of the differences you note from Ryan Norberg, especially to some of the other drivers, and especially Alessandro DeTulio, who seems to have a little bit even more of a wider, late apexing line than some of the other guys?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I was actually watching Ryan Norberg yesterday in the last corner, who just seems to have a drastically different line. He's much more early into in the turn-in phase, and he uses all of the track on the exit. And the exit, obviously, you're bending left, so normally it's kind of a corner you would want to see somebody exiting a little bit more narrow to reduce the drag, but it seems to be working for him. He always gets a really nice launch, whereas DeTulio really opens up the entry and tries to late apex it. And it's just 2 really different ways to go about it, and probably quite close in the lap times.
And again, something we talked about with a lot of other drivers we've had in the booth is you can kind of tell that Orlando is a very technical racetrack when you see drivers taking 2 different lines. If it's a simple 1 lane, everybody goes the exact same way. It doesn't really require a lot of skill. You go to certain tracks where, Ocala Grand Prix, the only issue a lot of drivers had, it was so easy to learn. Everyone drove the exact same way, the exact same line. There was nothing a driver could do in terms of raw ability to make up for a lack of horsepower or a missed setup, And here at Orlando, you've got a couple sections where we're seeing drivers take more curb, less curb, a little wider, a little narrower in different parts of the corner. And it makes this racetrack more of a driver's racetrack, would you say?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the exit curbs, too, are a little bit more rough. So if you actually push a little bit too hard and use a bit too much curb, it's going to be bogging you down. So it really rewards drivers that are consistent. Hence why we've seen Norberg do so well this weekend. As well, just, the track knowledge here. This is definitely a difficult track to learn. Your first time, and this is a lot of these guys' first time here.
Yeah, first time here to Orlando for many. Not the first time for the guys in second and third. First time for Marian Kremers. Jack Jeffers has been here before. Thomas Nevo's never been here before. Hayden Jones came here last week, did some testing. The same with Nate Cicero. Donovan Bonilla, I think, had a couple sessions here. And Cameron Weinberg, he won the Rotax RTX Trophy event here in Senior Max earlier this year. So he's got some laps. And you'll see in that, right? You're seeing some big-name guys struggling way down the order. The likes of an A.J. Myers, who's grown up here. He just couldn't seem to hit the setup. Then there's guys like Oliver Hodgson, first time here. Top-tier guy, maybe we're looking for the setup, maybe not, whatever they're missing. 16th and 18th. And some other guys here who have been really quick in the past and, struggling to get up there. Frankie Mossman, Justin Ataconis, first time here. Ryan Rath, I'm not sure if he's been here before. Dante Yu, they're down in the mid-20s. So this is a very tough field. Again, that's not to knock on any of those guys. It's just to show the depth of talent we have in X30 Senior, and all the more impressive that they're all running these guys on screen at the front of it. Norberg, a 1.6-second lead back to DeTulio. Benoit, who's found a little late race pace. And Marian Kremers, who just hit the fastest lap of the session at a 54.437.
Tell you something I've been looking at too is the times. Alessandro Di Tullio was running at about a 1.3 second disadvantage to Ryan Norberg in the past 3 laps. Norberg has opened up a 10th a lap, so he is now at a 1.6 second disadvantage. Marion Kremers, like you just said, went the fastest on track, and I think Di Tullio may have his hands full because I think Aaron Benoit noticed, hey, you're not running down Ryan like I thought you would. Maybe it's time for you to step back a peg.
4.5 laps to go as they come out at the turn 10 hairpin here. This 3-driver group trying to chase down the man who has just been dominant ever since that new X30 package came out. Everybody's been trying to catch up to him. That summer hot streak, the Rawlson Performance Group went on. A team that's done a lot of R&D, a lot of testing. They've got a lot of good drivers. It shows. I mean, they have filled the back half of the top 10 with Hayden Jones, Nate Cicero, Donovan Bonilla, 4 drivers in the top 10, and of course their leading man, Ryan Norberg, up there. Paul Bocuse, he's down in 11. Not the best main event for the kid who got his first career podium yesterday. And as they come out at turn number 6, 3.5 laps to go. And unfortunately, it looks like here again, a same story from yesterday as Thomas Neveau, we go further back, battling with Jack Jeffers. He's faded heavily, just got by him, back by in turn number 5. So now Neveau up into the top 5. Jeffers back to 6. Hayden Jones still 7th. 3 to go at the line. Norberg up and out of the picture as we watch the battle for the podium. Di Tullio, Benoit, Kremers.
They're now making their way out of the final corner. Like you said, Norberg way out the top of your screen. He is just now going into turn 1. So we switch back over. I believe that is Neveau and Jeffers going back and forth, going down into turn number 1. There's your leader, Ryan Norberg, making his way into turn number 4. There's the battle for second. Alessandro Di Tullio running in second. Aaron Benoit running in third. Mario Kremers running in P4. And we go back. There is Neveau and Jeffers. Neveau looks like he got the point back, and he is back up into 4th.
Braden, we've talked a lot about different stuff with driving, having you in here. Obviously, you're a multi-time X30 race winner. The senior class from the junior class with the extra lead, you're not normally able to go 100% the entire race. You kind of have to be smart with the way you drive, where you don't give up too much lap time wise. At the same time, you're pushing maybe 80% until these final 5 laps, because with the heavier weight and the same horsepower as the X30 Junior on the soft tire, that tire will heat up and then go away if you drive too hard early on, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're always trying to not overdrive, trying to keep the tires from slipping too much. Obviously, any slip in the tire is going to generate heat. The newer tires in the past 5 years have just been much more sensitive to heat, and we're seeing drivers having to actually look after their tires from a heat perspective. It's not so much the wear, but if you overheat your tires, you can kind of get them back a little bit if you chill for a couple laps, but still you're having to always think about that and keep in mind, if I go hard and gain a couple tenths here, I might lose 2 tenths the next lap.
That's something interesting here we're seeing now with Ryan Norberg, as he gave up about 3 tenths that time by, slowed down to a 54.8. In fact, he's slowing down big time here with 2 to go. He can do that here at the end of the race. He's built that insurance, built the gap. Di Tullio trying to get their final charge. He's going to come up a little bit short. The white flag will wave. Norberg, a final look across the line. He's just got to cruise to the finish. Another 2 tenths knocked off. It's down to 1.2 seconds, but they let him get out too far. They didn't fight him early enough, and they allowed him to build that gap here, Caleb, through turn 5.
Yeah, and I don't think Di Tullio's got enough time. He is reeling them in. I also don't think that Benoit or Kremers is going to be able to make a move on Di Tullio because they're kind of spaced out right now. Could be wrong. Benoit looks like he's a little bit closer coming out of turn 5, heading into 6.
Again, you've got just a younger contingent here up at the front, and Marion Kremers, who's still been playing pretty nice with everybody here in his start to North American karting. We haven't seen a lot of guys. Last year, Arias Duke-Medjin kind of played the antagonist role here. He may not have had the best pace, but he was always able to kind of get into Norberg's head, it seemed like, and get into it with him and shuffle him back. And that was
Fletcher.
Jeremy Fletcher, and Marion Kremers has gone by Benoit. I don't know what happened with Jeremy Fletcher. Hard impact with the wall. As down the front stretch, Ryan Norberg sweeps at home here in Orlando. He wins, and with a wild, I'm not sure what happened there in turn 10. Jeremy Fletcher, heavy impact.
I don't know if Jeremy Fletcher got pushed wide or what happened, but all I looked up on the screen and saw 4 wheels in the grass. Oh, we got more karts turned around.
Oh, we got 3 together. And oh yeah, that is Victor Franzoni, Zach Clayman DeMello, Diego Ramos in the final turn, and teammates actually, Clayman DeMello and Ramos getting together. Franzoni frustrated as well. Tempers flaring here at the end of this main event. Those guys were running at the right around the midfield as they had been digging forward. On the final lap coming in, claiming DeMello just inside the top 20. So I think that was about 19th or 20th. Franzoni, a thumbs up there to Diego Ramos. Yeah, he is not happy. Neither driver.
Is that a tire mark on the side of his helmet? Or is that the sunset?
No. I think that's part of the paint job.
Oh, never mind. Disregard.
Yeah. Ramos trying to talk to him here. Franzoni obviously not happy with the incident. Nonetheless, we've got Jenna down there in the scale line. We'll talk to a few more here as a frustrated ending to the main event for a few. Franzoni, of course, the hero of the last chance qualifier after blowing an engine. He was running inside the top 6. Braden, like you said here, I mean, you called it. You know, at that point, if anyone looks back on this race, anything that could have been done different, Aaron Benoit was playing really nice with Norberg, didn't go
we got more yelling.
Claiming DeMello. Giving a few choice words over there towards Ramos as well. So Zach Clayman DeMello involved in that final incident. He drove away. The 3 not so happy drivers there battling back for an 18th or 19th on the final lap, trying to dig forward. Ramos as well collected in it. And they're all going to wait in the scale line here as they get set to get cleared. So the racetrack's still going to have to get cleared here. The carts of Diego Ramos and Victor Franzoni still over in the final corner. But here we are over in the scale line, and we're getting set to get our view, a good look, and probably a chat here with a number of our top finishers. Braden, again, like we were going back through, you know, we talked about how there's really only so many things you can kind of go back on and decide of where you could have done better in a main event. Besides driving better and not missing an apex, in the case of this race, Aaron Benoit might have looked back and think, you know, I think I treated Norberg a little bit too nice. Should have been more aggressive in the early part.
Yeah, if for me, if I'm within 4 kart lengths of Norberg, I'm definitely sending it in. To be honest, I don't understand. It's just people just don't ship it in there anymore.
Well, it's a little bit different here. We definitely saw some shipping it in here on screen. That's Victor Franzoni and Zach Clayman DeMello kind of trying to get a bearing of what went down. And again, we're going to have some of our top finishers talk with Jenna in just a moment. There's Ryan Norberg in the middle, getting a nice congratulations from Andre Martins, Orlando Kart Center owner and operator, and of course former boss of Ryan. He's worked here, grown up here, and to come to the home race for the first return to national racing, the biggest U.S. Pro Kart Series event ever. And for it to happen here, both of them instrumental in helping promote and bring the big race back to the hometown. And I'm sure they are over the moon with the way that the weekend's gone. I mean, no red flags, nothing else here. Braden, thanks as always for joining us. We appreciate it when you come and join us in the booth. I know you've been polling for a little more fireworks. Hopefully when we get up for the next round at the U.S. Pro Kart Series or even the SCUSA Pro Tour in New Orleans, we see a little bit of it, but we'll have to wait and see. Thanks again.
Thanks, Senator.
Caleb, like we said here, just waiting for a little more on the debrief. We're going to bring the drivers over here to talk to them as soon as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear what Detilio thinks about that run that he had. I think maybe if he had 15 more laps, he may have been able to run them down. He started coming on towards the end. Mario Kramers came back. The fastest running in the end. His fastest lap was a 54.437, able to pull it out at the very end of the run. Ryan Norberg obviously is our winner, trying to go for that 6th national championship in 125cc single clutch speed. Aaron Benoit, who started up towards the front, finishing in P number 4. Thomas Naveau, who started in the front row, finishes in P5. That is the top 5 of your field. We are on standby right now until we get some drivers up behind camera so our own Jen Atomic can have a quick words and get their insight as to what happened out there on track. Beautiful backdrop here. Not a cloud in the sky for that future event. Sun's starting to set. Temperature's starting to cool off.
Yeah, beautiful day here at Orlando Kart Center. We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our top finishers and a little bit of the chaos and controversy here from the X30 Pro main.
Maryland, USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParolinUSA.com.
Here to round number 2 of Orlando. We're going to get some words with our drivers. I believe we got our race winner, Ryan Norberg, down with our very own Xander Clements. Xander?
We're down here on the grid with race winner Ryan Norberg. You sweep at home. I mean, you said you were the most nervous you've ever been coming into this weekend. I don't know if you could have done much better.
No, it was a good week for everybody, but like honestly, the best thing was racing here at this track. I mean, it just produces such good racing, and it's so nice to be here. I mean, I did some laps here earlier this month just on my practice kart, and just it's so fun to be out here racing this track. It races really well, and you know, you can get shuffled back on a start and still be able to work your way back through. But yeah, it was a good race. Obviously, the team did a really good job setting up the kart and getting everything together, but yeah, it was a good weekend.
And you said you were a bit surprised here. We talked in the booth all the way. Braden's up there. I mean, you two have had some good races coming back. Your career's kind of parallel coming up to the national scene. He's like, if I'm behind Ryan and I'm in Benoit's spot, I'm sending it from 4 karts back. I don't care. And you thought that might happen too.
Yeah, and that's why I was blocking for, the first 3 laps while I was in front of Benoit. I just got in front of him and drove defensive because I was afraid he was going to throw it in. But, Tom did that on the start. He knew that I had some pace, and he threw it in there, made sure he got in front. And so did Marin, and there was a bunch of other drivers that were trying. And so I knew it was going to be rough. That's how it always is when you're the fastest. But, yeah, I was kind of surprised he didn't really try anything super late or aggressive. But, they were all racing me clean, and it was fun and good racing here.
Awesome stuff here. Well, congrats, Ryan. Obviously, big team effort with RPG. You come away 2 wins, championship lead. That's a good way to start the title defense.
It definitely is, and $5,000 feels pretty nice.
Yeah, it's got to feel pretty good too. But congrats on it here. Back to you in the booth, Caleb.
Waiting to see when the rest of the drivers are going to come out. Like we just talked, Ryan Norberg winning $5,000 at his home track here in Orlando, putting on a fantastic show for everyone out there. He said before, I blocked the first 3 laps because I knew that, I believe it was Benoit was coming up strong from behind. He didn't want to have any opportunities for anyone to possibly get a quick little pass on the inside line. As we're going to, like I said before, go on hold. Beautiful backdrop here. Clouds are out in the sky. Most mechanics are gone. You can see the team is starting to tear down all the equipment. Some of these drivers are going to try to get out of here this afternoon. I know a lot of our car chaser crew has flights out this afternoon, so hopefully we can get going here. Oh, we may do this little grid walk style as we get a little preview of the track. You can see some of the marbles off in the distance. We're just going to sit here in a quick little holding pattern. Still more interviews yet to come. We're going to try to do our top 10. Alessandro D'Attilio taking 2nd place, Ryan Norberg out in front. 3rd placeman, Mario Kremers with Aaron Benoit coming across in 4th. Thomas Naveau rounding out the field in the top 5. Jack Jeffers coming across in the 6th spot. Hayden Jones finishing in P7. Nathan Cicero finishing in 8th after moving up 2 spots. Cameron Weiberg finishing in 9th. And Paulie Massimino rounds out the top 10. So we're going to go on a quick little hold right here. We can see some USPKS workers off the distance taking down the MG tires and the USPKS flags. Wind is definitely starting to pick up here this afternoon. We can feel it up in the booth. We're moving the camera over to the bottom of where we're located at up in the booth. We're going to get some more drivers coming our way. Got to move some equipment. Trevor Blue is doing some MMA parkour up here, trying to get the timing equipment moved back over so we can make sure we have excellent service here to come in the afternoon. Once again, here's a look at the final 2 corners here at Orlando. And man, first race back in a while for Orlando Karting Center, and it did not disappoint. This track put on awesome shows, great opportunities for passing all the way around. Has a little bit of mix of some tight technical corners, some faster, longer corners. Obviously, the 2 straights with an awesome hairpin called Turn 10, allowing awesome passing. Drivers definitely use it to their advantage. Let's see if we can't get some more drivers to come up here shortly. Going down the rest of the order, Paul Bocuse finishes in the 11th spot. The hometown hero follows back 4 positions. Aiden Fox finishes in P12. 13th goes Adolfin Banana, finishing in the 13th position. Gavin Bailiff comes across in 14th. Oliver Hodson rounding out the 15th position. AJ Myers making his comeback in 125cc single speed, We just see him in the clutch carts. Finishes in the 16th position. David Fletcher coming across P17. Jacob Hoover 19. Justin Anaconas finishes in the 19th position. Axel Cabrera finishes out in the top 20. As the drivers just now coming out of tech, we got some couple more coming down now. I believe we're about to switch over to Xander Clements. He's got some more drivers out on grid. We're going to wait for him to give us a thumbs up. Again, we got to pull these guys out of line. Some of them got to go through tech. Got to scale your cart before you're allowed to leave the tech area. But we're just going to go on standby. As soon as they come back, we will switch it over. Making sure we have some awesome picture for you guys here this afternoon. Again, you can see some of the track workers out on the area. I know some of our KC crew is starting to tear down the tents. All the equipment that we got to pack back up before we get going once again with Rock Cup USA next week. And I believe we are now down. Xander Clements, take it away.
All right, a little bit crazy. We were trying to get a hold of you over there. We got you over here, Marian. First of all, good race, good result, but you got a penalty there for the contact with yourself and Aaron Benoit with a couple laps to go. Walk me through what happened.
Yeah, the speed was really good, but as soon as I got close to some people, I just had a little bit of front washing. I think that has to do with the bodywork or maybe the setup a little bit, but in clean air, the car was unreal. I think I had the fastest lap as well, so that was really good. I caught up to Aaron on the last lap and made a board lunge from quite far into this corner out of the pits. There was no contact there, but I knew he was going to overrun on me because I came from that far back. So I just parked it on the apex, and there was a little bit of contact from Aaron from behind me, and they're blaming me for it, but we'll see if we can get that overruled.
All right, well, Marian Kremer's here again, unofficially P3. Well, wait, where does that penalty end up putting you if it stands?
It's a 3-position penalty, so P6.
All right, well, either way here, a good run forward. Like you said, the car was good in clean air. Seems like every weekend you guys are making a little bit of progress. You're excited to move on to New Orleans here in a couple weeks? Well, actually, I guess come back here next week.
Yeah, this will be the first time I'm coming back to a track that I actually know so far, so I'm hoping to use that to my advantage. The kart seems to be really good, so yeah, we'll be good from the get-go, unlike this weekend.
All right, well, Marian Kremer's again inside the top 5 almost all week. He feels confident for next week. He'll be back here in a couple days. Thanks, Marian. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, Marian Kremer's again working on that protest. Next up, Aaron Benoit. Let's bring over the other guy in the incident. Aaron, good day. We talked to you before. You said you were kind of happy with P5, your expectations. You think this is a race you had marked down you thought you could win. You have a lot of laps here, and ultimately there. Walk me through that contact with Marian at the end.
Yeah, the race started off really well, taking the lead on the first lap, but unfortunately I just wasn't consistent enough to pull away and win, so I started falling back. And with Marian, I mean, it was kind of a racing incident. I don't think he saw me, but I'll let the stewards decide what they want.
Understandable here. If that penalty obviously stands, then you end up on the box still. You had a good day inside the top 5 all day long here. How many more races are we going to get to see you? Because we haven't seen you a whole lot over the last 2 years.
Probably not many, if any. So.
Well, it's a good way at least to go out to get some hardware if it stands here. Congrats, Aaron.
Thank you.
Aaron Benoit again with Comp Kart and U-Race, or Tony Kart and U-Race here. We're going to let him hand off to the side. We've got a few more guys here. Victor Franzoni, unfortunately, involved in that last lap incident. We caught the back half of it. Victor, obviously, the emotions were running high at the end of the race. You drove forward, had a heroic drive in the last chance qualifier to get in from last to 4th on the final lap. You're getting up halfway through the field. What happens there in the final corner?
Man, I don't even know. I didn't do anything to him. And I saw Zachary block, and I was like, okay, maybe if I got to Zachary, I'm probably like top 15, top 17. My bumper was not in, so I was like, okay, that's great. Maybe this is going to put me like 13, 12. And Diego came flat out and hit me from the back and took me and Zachary out. I don't know why. No, I don't know.
Well, unfortunate there at the end. Obviously, you talk with Diego a little bit. I mean, did he have, what was his take on the deal? I mean, you guys went back and forth. What was said?
A lot of words, not good words, but it's fine. It's not racing because racing is not this, and this is a bad example for kids because kids want to like see good racing, like passing and battling and accepting the position they're finishing. And what he did was not nice at all. Like he could just finish, and it is what it is. If he couldn't win, he couldn't win. Accept and go for the next one, do a better preparation and be faster in the next one, but don't do that. That's a terrible example for kids, for everybody that was watching. That's ugly. I got a little bit too excited as well when I came out of the go-kart, so I want to say sorry for everybody that watched it. That's not good. But it is what it is. I hope I can do one more. I'm always happy to be here in the US PKS. And I really want to thank you, PK Sports, the guys from KAR and Bring from BN Engines. We really put it together today. It was a very good day, so I'm happy. I'm happy with everything. Let's go for the next one.
Yeah, the speed's good. Rust is shaking off. You're back in the driver's seat where you belong, Victor. We're happy to have you back here. Hopefully we get to see you more this year. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you very much for everybody.
Thanks again, Victor Franzoni here with PK Sports. Finally, Alessandro DiTullio, let's bring you on up here. I know once again, wanted to be, up there, was so close once again, and it looked like the pace was good. I mean, you were digging. You were the fastest driver through the early part, through the middle stage, and then it just kind of plateaued. It seemed like the tires maybe just overheated a little as you were having to fight and use them up to get to the field. Is that about what happened?
Yeah, the start wasn't great. I was getting pushed from behind. I was pretty much on top of Kremers. That didn't allow him to get on the gas, so our start wasn't great, and then fell back a couple positions when I got passed by Paul. So yeah, I think making all those moves and stuff overheated the tires a bit. So once the mid-race got there, we weren't the greatest.
Yeah, we talk about it here again. Things you're going to go back. Obviously, we know we're hoping to see you in as many single-speed pro events here this year. But you go back, you've got the GoPro camera. It's going to eat at you at night here, but you deserve to at least celebrate a little bit. It's a good result. It's a good points result 2 days in a row here at Ryan's home track. I mean, you can't blame him. It's a good home track for you, but you should be proud of this result. Congrats, Ale.
Thank you.
Alessandro DiTullio, again, a hard-fought second place and another good points run. We're going to bring in Zach Clayman de Mello. Zach, you were also involved in that incident, and man, I mean, Victor put it pretty well. It seemed like you were ahead, defending a little bit. Victor was trying to find a way around, and then out of nowhere, all three of you guys end up kind of beached together in the last turn.
Yeah, I mean, me and Diego had an issue in the pre-final. He told me he was going to try to hospitalize me. He did a pretty good job at it. I'm obviously okay, but super unfortunate what happened. I'm obviously bummed. He's a bit of an idiot with what he did, and there's no really nice way to say it. It's an absolute stupid move to take out me and another driver. I'm just happy to be back. I had a fun weekend. I wasn't very prepared. It was a last-minute thing, and I'll be back and a bit more prepared and hopefully give the front guys a run for their money.
Well, that's what we love to see, Zach. Obviously, you're a former Super Nats winner. You're a guy that we love to come back and a big name here in karting, so we are happy to have you here this weekend. Thanks again for coming. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks.
All right, Zach Clayman de Mello, we're going to send it back up to you here, Caleb.
Thank you, Xander. Thank you for that. And again, that was our top 10. Or most of the top 10 of the drivers who came in. Good information coming in, and I totally forgot too, we still have penalties that we have to assess before we can get going with final results. We still have to wait for all the drivers to go through the scale line, then they have to take it to tech. Any protests that may form are also going to have to go through, and then there's also the appeal process. So it's probably going to be a little bit of time before we have the results for the X30 Senior class. Everything we read off is obviously just temporary. Once everyone goes through tech, once all the information is figured out, then we'll know for sure about everybody who is in the final positions. So again, provisionally, Ryan Norberg is going to be our winner. Alessandro DiTullio P2, Mario Kremers P3, Aaron Benoit P4, and Thomas Naveau rounding out the top 5. And back in the booth with us, the man who can be at 10 places at once, it is Xander Clements. Xander, you out of breath yet? Run up and down those stairs?
You know, I've got a pretty good workout in.
Yeah?
Honestly, it's tough to stay in shape on the road, Caleb. We've been on the road here for 4 weeks so far. We've got another week, of course, next week. For those of you that have still stayed tuned in, we are back in just a few days. We go back live on Friday for the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour here from Orlando Kart Center. Unfortunately, my boy Caleb Smock here will not be joining us. He'll be coming back here, hopefully, for the opening round of the SuperKarts USA Pro Tour and then the US Pro Kart Series events as we move further and further on through the month. Caleb, long weekend of racing, 326 entries. I mean, to close it all out, like you said, beautiful day here in Orlando Kart Center. We had sunshine. It got a little bit hot. Definitely got a little bit hot on the racetrack. But at the end of the day, overall, clean, hard, good racing here. Is that about what you would say? Yeah, I'd say so. And the sun coming down, obviously we're down in Florida. It is March, but it did get a little hot. Obviously, track got greasy. First time coming back in a long time. Orlando did not disappoint by any means. Well, it definitely did not. For those of you tuning in, thanks as always for tuning in here on youtube.com/KartChaser. Again, we come back in less than a week. We're live on Friday. For Caleb Smock, for myself, Xander Clements, and everyone on the KC broadcasting team, we thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.